Hello, everybody.
Hello.
Woohoo! Hello, fellow jackets. I'm Kimberly,
I'm Katie.
and we are A Date with K and K. We have a podcast, A Date with Dateline, and this is our spin-off YouTube extravaganza that we've been doing all season for Yellowjackets. In case this is your first time, we're so excited. We are going to be doing sort of a wrap-up of season 2, predictions for season 3, and we have some of our fellow podcast friends on to discuss, to talk about crazy theories, and really excited.
Yeah.
So,
Because we can't do it all ourselves. We need assistance for sure.
no, I can't. And I'm curious to see how some people really loved this last season and some people really hated this last season.
This is
So
great. Okay,
it's going to be
good.
very polarizing. So
Yeah.
I love that.
Here we go.
So if everyone has been reading Reddit threads, if you have conspiracy theories, feel free to put them in the comment section. We have a bunch that we're probably going to be talking about. And in the description I wrote Jeff is Pit Girl. That was obviously a joke. No, I don't think anyone actually thinks Jeff is Pit Girl, but you never know. Who knows?
A lot of people think it's Callie, so.
A lot of people think it's Callie, but the producers have said specifically that that was in the past tense in the 90s, that plot line, that scene. So it really can't be Callie unless
Is time travel.
I don't know, unless there's time. Yeah, maybe there's
Unless
time
it's
travel.
dark.
Yeah,
On
unless it's
Netflix.
dark. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And we are still talking about what show we're going to cover next for YouTube because we're having fun. We want to keep doing
Speaking of
it.
dark.
So we're thinking about Dark from
Yeah.
Netflix, which is a German show. It's amazing. It's
Mm-hmm.
so good. But we have a couple other things we're thinking about too.
Yeah.
So, Cabin Daddy baby daughter is Pit Girl. I like that theory.
Okay, that's a good one.
Although that doesn't really make sense because Cabin Daddy was there before the Yellowjackets, and the Yellowjackets are in the scene with
No,
Pit
it would
Girl.
be yes, it would be Pit Girl grown up. There's a theory sort of around Cabin Daddy that should we talk about it now or should
Sure.
we wait?
Go for
Okay.
it.
So the Cabin Daddy theory that I've heard is that Cabin Daddy has a daughter in the promo pictures. We see him with a little girl.
Right.
And so there is a chance that the little girl survives, although Cabin Daddy we know dies because he's the
So
dead
she's
body
out there
upstairs.
somewhere in an underground bunker or
So that would be
tree.
Javi's friend. It would be
Okay, I'm
if
liking this.
it would go along with the theory that there's someone else in the wilderness.
Mhm.
They go together. So
Mhm.
I mean, it's not a bad theory that that's who
No,
they're
I like that
chasing. I
theory.
just don't know how she would have gotten the necklace. She
Right.
remember the pit girl has the heart necklace
Has
on.
Jackie's necklace.
Yeah.
Yeah, unless they meet her and then decide to hunt her.
Yeah,
And
unless
that's
they
part
meet
of
and
their
they're
ritual is
friends.
putting the necklace on.
Right.
Big Cabin Daddy energy. Katie loves when we say
No.
that. She hates when we say that.
Coach Ben is pit girl.
But I love it.
That's
Yeah,
a
if
big
she had
that was a big reveal, that those promo shots. Right?
the Cabin Daddy,
Mhm.
explain what you saw.
I just saw a picture of I believe is Jason
Jason
Ritter?
Ritter.
Yeah, I believe it's Jason Ritter, so it's Melanie Lipinski. Say her last name. Linsky. I keep wanting to say Melanie Lipinski. I knew a
Mhm.
Lipinski, so I can't switch it.
Mhm.
Anyways, Melanie Linsky's husband, we know there was a casting announcement for him, and then there was a shot that it was either I don't know if it was actually released. Was it released or did somebody get a shot of him?
I thought it was released, but I could be wrong. These people are so sneaky that
Yeah, I know. Well, it's him in what appears to be the jacket that Natalie wears, that plaid sort of fleecy type jacket, and then he's
yes.
holding a little girl who's, like,
Yes.
4,
Yeah.
3.
So, and does he appear to be in the cabin?
Yeah, and he appears happy. But I don't know if
So
it's just a candid shot of him on set, but he's with his girl. But yeah, he's in the woods. He's in the woods.
amazing. Okay, I'm
I
really
know.
excited.
And so
Also, I
that
love
probably
Jason Ritter, so I'm just here for him in any
and I don't feel like I know him. I don't feel like I've seen anything that he's in.
I know, and
So,
then we listed off all the shows, and
no.
there's not a
There's
one
nary
that
a
you
one, and I watch
No,
a lot of shows, so
no.
that's just an unfortunate coincidence. But
Um,
that's a cool thing. That's fun. I wish that they had done it this season as
is
part of
that
the
gonna
whole
be in
season.
that special episode?
Yeah, so
That very special TV movie?
if everybody doesn't know, there's an extra special I what they called it was, I guess they said a secret episode, which I thought was really cute, like a secret song on the end of a CD, when it's a hidden track, like a hidden episode. Um, and so I guess people were staying up late thinking that it was coming after the finale, like this last week. No, they said they're going to be releasing it sometime between season 2 and season 3, closer to season 3. But
Okay.
that could be to throw us off. It could be next week. Just
Okay.
keep your eyes open.
Okay.
There's gonna be a Yellowjackets episode dropping, and I have a feeling it has nobody in it. I have a feeling it's
Yeah, it's
just
like
the
a
story of
one-off.
Cabin Daddy, just
Mhm.
his story.
Yeah.
So which they easily could have done this season at, like, episode 5.
Yeah.
They could have just done a standalone episode of his story, but it is kinda fun to do a secret bonus one. That's really fun.
I love that idea.
Yeah, that's
We
really
have
good.
some very special guests that I'm gonna bring on now if they're ready. Wave to me if you're ready. Can you see me? Yay, they're ready. Okay.
They're ready.
Everyone is gonna know who these lovely folks are. I'm so excited. Yay!
Yay!
Hello.
We have
Hi.
Rebecca Lavoie and Kevin Flynn from These Are Their Stories and Crime Writers On. Little show, you might have heard of it. They're kind of our mentors, heroes in
Oh
the
my goodness.
true crime
are.
podcast world.
Shut
Yeah.
up. Come
True.
on.
We're so excited. Katie was just on These Are Their Stories, and I guess you started talking about Yellowjackets, and
hard
you
to
have
not.
some very strong feelings.
no.
Yeah.
No.
I mean, I do too. So I feel like we're aligned.
Oh, good.
Love, hate last season.
Hate.
Okay, how much time do we have?
Like,
As much time
a
as
few
you
minutes.
need.
I'm
Just
gonna
a few minutes.
start my stopwatch. You want to go first?
I hate it so much. I hate it
Wow.
so
Mm.
much. I'm so upset about it. I hate it so, so much. I am just hoping beyond
Are you?
hope.
You're going to keep watching.
100% I'm gonna keep
Okay.
watching. But I hate the season so much. And like there's so much wrong with it. The main thing that's wrong with it is that like we know what happens in the future and it has killed the stakes of what's happening in the past. And like that whole tension between past and future is now like they've just broken the spell
Mm-hmm.
Right.
in a way that existed in season 1. And it's just
Mhm.
it's broken.
Yeah.
And I don't know if it's retrievable at this point. And I'm completely heartbroken about it. Plus the body horror this season was a little much for me. Gonna be not gonna
Right.
lie. Yeah.
You're
Yeah.
talking about Natalie's death specifically then? Like
Yeah, I mean, who
how
cares?
Spoiler
Who
alert,
cares
by
if
the way.
who cares if she's the leader in season 1 now that we know she's dead? Who
Right.
cares? Who
That's
gives
a
a shit?
really good point. That's really
It
true.
does change the
Yeah.
stakes a lot.
Yeah.
It
Well,
does.
my thought was like the whole season 1 present day timeline. We know that they did something in the past and people want to know about it. And there's a reporter nosing around and they're being blackmailed. And we find out, no, there really was no reporter. No one's really trying to blackmail you. So I guess no one cares about what happened in the past. So there are literally no more stakes.
And Jeff
And-
knows you had a baby and it
yeah.
died.
And
Yeah.
maybe here comes Lottie's cult and you go back and it isn't really a cult.
Right.
And it's just
And
an
the plot
ashram.
line we didn't even care about, the Adam Martin murder. Are they going to catch Shauna? Drags out all second season
Do
and then is
not
wrapped
care.
up. And I know you watch soap operas, Rebecca.
I do.
How much of a soap opera wrap up was that? One police officer fake blackmailing the other police. Oh, it's just all tied up. It's that they
Yes.
just meet in the kitchen. He poisons him. It's fine.
It's the kind of soap opera wrap up where like they change the writing staff and the new writing staff hates the old writing staff. They're like, fuck this storyline. Let's just do a new storyline and like wrap this one up like real quick so that we can
We'll
just move
start
on.
fresh. We're just gonna
Like-
get rid of this one. Start
Yeah.
over.
Yeah.
Like no cop is going to go, okay, we're at the scene. There's a dead cop here and a woman who overdosed by giving herself a shot in the neck. Well, move it along.
Right.
Hmm.
With something weird. Because it's
Yeah.
not like a lot of people getting high on phenobarbital? Like is that a
In
is
their
that a-
necks.
And
It's
that's the
not.
way to do it.
They don't
Heartbroken.
even
What the
let
kids
us
are doing.
believe that it was fentanyl. It's like, oh, she just okay, all right. She
Yeah.
that seems likely.
And
Yeah,
to
it
get
was-
past, wouldn't they autopsy Adam's body in the trunk and show that he had been poisoned before he was shot?
You mean Kevin?
Sorry, Kevin Tan.
Yeah, okay,
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
Kevin Tan, yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, that's true.
So
Yeah.
many plot holes.
I know.
So
Are
when
there?
did the season start getting tricky for you? When were you sort of like, I don't know. I don't know what's happening.
Maybe the second or third episode, I was starting to think, where's its mojo?
Okay.
Yeah, and I think it was like a lot of I don't know. I thought that the daughter, I forget her name. I think she was
Callie.
Callie was just so fucking annoying.
We
Like,
hate her.
yeah, and she finally like comes around to kind of like, I'm gonna help out. It's like, thanks, Velma. And by the time she gets into it, it's kind of too late. I don't know. I mean, I really enjoyed the show's X-Files energy, like
Okay.
the teen year. I don't know how we refer to the two timelines here in
How do you guys
Yellowjacket.
refer to them with each other?
Teen kids,
Teen years, adult
teen years,
years.
adult, or
Yeah.
present. Yeah.
Okay,
Yeah.
that's good. Yeah, I like
Yeah.
that.
So for me, the whole teen years thing, right? It has like this kind of spooky element. There's this really sort of feminist, girl power, with no I in it, girl power, 6
With the
R's in it.
Right.
Yeah, and I thought that was really cool. And and it's set up as sort of this weird mystery. So that's what I'm there for. And
Yeah.
it feels like I was waiting for that to happen in the second season. They don't really start poking that until maybe the 6th or 7th episode.
Yeah.
It's a lot of time. It's literally they are stuck in a cabin. And that is why the plot does not move, because they don't move.
Right.
They are literally staying in a cabin and nothing is happening.
I have a question for you guys. Why bring Javi back
Right. Just to
after
kill him.
he had a mysterious life?
Yeah.
Living under a tree, eating lots of things with bones, if you're never going to find out what happened in his because he's now dead.
Yeah.
Why bring him back? It's like
Because he wouldn't talk.
it was kind of like Lost-ish. I was like, oh, he's kind of, there's an underground world. There's like a whole second world underground. And there's like this fan theory about there being like methane bubbles there. Maybe they're like, and I think there's something interesting there that maybe could be explored, but like, we'll never know now because he's dead.
Yeah.
It's like,
Right.
But he was
he brought the card back with him, the Queen of Hearts card, which was kind of the only plot they needed. There was like, and that I don't even know if you caught that, and we didn't catch it until someone on Reddit, I think, said it. Is like Akila says, "Where did you get that Queen of Hearts card?" Because that deck didn't have any Queen of Hearts, and then the Queen of Hearts becomes their hunting card.
It had no queens, right?
It had no queens in it. Yeah. And he brought back one that his like friend gave him. Or who's the friend?
He never says the friend gave it to him.
Oh,
he
no.
just mysteriously
he just says, my friend
it.
told me not to come back. And then he had maybe it just gave Coach Ben some impetus to live now because he has a mystery to solve, because he was checked out all season, like the worst adult you could ever have amongst teens.
or the best.
Or that, I mean, if you're a partying teen, you're pretty happy that he's your chaperone. Yeah.
In what world would the adult not try to take charge of this, right? He's the coach of the team.
Yeah.
So he's like blowing the whistle and making you do
he
laps.
gave up.
But if your life depends on it, I'm just going to go to sleep.
Yeah.
Me and my Civil War battlefield amputation and this crutch that we somehow were able to fashion with no tools out of a piece of wood. And don't forget the padding underneath the, oh, Jesus.
Don't forget the airline
seatbelt.
I
love the show.
Oh, me too. The airline seatbelt belts. Okay,
I love that.
Love that.
They used every part. They scavenged that plane.
I have a couple of questions.
Belts, fashion.
Why throw the poop and pee off a cliff that's far away from the cabin during snowstorms? Why?
Right.
Anyone else in the world would just like go 5 feet away from the cabin.
Where's Crystal's body? Theories?
Oh. So did I hear you guys talking about Jason Ritter a second ago?
So Jason Ritter has a cameo next season or in that special episode. We think as Cabin Daddy, which is what people call the skeleton guy in the attic that lived in the cabin.
That's Melanie Linsky's real life husband, obviously.
Yes.
Love him in Joan of Arcadia. Love him in everything he's ever been in.
I have a mad crush on him. Katie has no idea who he is. But she's gonna love him. I will make her love him.
So is that skeleton cabin daddy, is that different than the mysterious figure that we see in Jackie's death hallucination?
No, it's the same person, although it wasn't him in that. So it was either like a recast, which
like that again. I like that. I thought that was so creepy. I thought this is great. So I mean, we did on Crime Writers On, we did our top 10 podcasts of the year and then our top 10 TV shows.
Yeah.
And for both of us, Yellowjackets was number 1. I mean, over Murders in the Building.
Not this year.
First season.
First season. It was number 2 for Laura. And, I was a thumb sideways just because I couldn't go full thumbs down. And you were thumbs down. And it's depressing. But I'm like certainly hoping that it comes back because it has the stuff.
that
Yeah, it
the
does.
show writers only wrote the first season of season 2 and then kind of checked out
The
or went
first
to work on
episode.
other projects. The first
Mm.
episode of season 2. Sorry.
Mhm.
So then it was the rest of the writing team. And that made a lot of sense
Oh,
as to why the quality really
the
dipped.
direction went.
I just don't understand why we had this real sort of I understood sort of the first episode starting off slow. I thought they might give us something big in episode 1 and they didn't. But then even though there are these huge events happening like the first cannibalism scene and then Shauna having her baby, for some reason to me in my head when I think about the season, I'm like everything happens in episode 8 and 9. The
Yeah.
end.
Yeah.
100%.
Like, that nothing really major, even though those technically are major things. I don't know what something is making me feel like that. Like
It was the
this is just-
Scooby-Doo-ish of them all winding up at the compound, Lottie's
Right.
compound in
Yeah.
the last
Right.
season. We're just all magically here.
Right.
Mhm.
So I have like a detailed question for you.
Yeah.
This is like maybe just like this is gross. So the cops like are chasing Shauna and Randy to see if they had sex, right?
Yeah.
And
Oh,
they pick
God.
up the condom that's full of like strawberry lotion. They're like, this
Yeah.
is full of strawberry. Couldn't his dick also have had strawberry lotion on it before they had sex?
Yeah,
Just
and
wondering, like,
Oh.
how are they 100%
Yeah.
sure that they're all? I mean,
Because if she was a cannibal,
also lube. Someone mentioned lube. There's like
Yeah.
strawberry
these
baby.
they're terrible cops.
Katie's so uncomfortable right now.
No, I'm
Fair
thinking.
enough.
I'm thinking because that
well,
whole
I just
thing
hate
was
that
weird.
mustachioed cop, like
Yeah.
perv creep mustachioed cop. I hate him as much as I hated
Yeah.
Callie earlier in the season.
Everybody
So,
hates him.
I wish he had died. I'm gonna be brutally honest. Kevin was fine.
yeah, that was like not the one to kill.
I
What did
still like
Kevin
Jeff
Tan
though.
do?
Still like Jeff though. He's
I
still
love
he's like my
Jeff.
favorite character on the show right now.
Jeff? Really?
Love Jeff.
He's hilarious.
So let me
do
ask you, where do you
believe
think
he's
that
like innocent and pure, and there's no deeper underside to Jeff?
No, he just wants to sell sectionals.
That's all. He just wants to sell sectionals. What about Walter? Oh, sorry, you had
No,
something.
I mean, is there a furniture salesman ever with uglier furniture in their house though?
No.
Yeah.
and they have like wood paneling. It's very
Yeah.
No, it's very time specific. That's interesting. What okay. So in regards to like the Jeff and Callie storyline, you both like that storyline, having
No, I
them
don't
play
think
so
they're
much
saying
this
that.
season.
No, I
I'm,
just
I'm
like
asking
Jeff.
how you
We
feel
just
about
like
it.
Jeff.
I like
Yeah.
Jeff's dialogue. I like
As a
Jeff's like
person,
way
okay.
of being. I
Yeah.
like that he's just like he bumbles into a scene and he's like, "Oh, by the way, your mom had a baby in the woods." And I'm like, "Wait a minute. I thought you weren't supposed to know that."
Right. Well,
I
that
thought it
was
was-
one of our big questions. Did he know? And he turns out he knew. Okay.
Turns
So
out
He
you
doesn't
knew.
have to read the diary.
Yeah, what are the stakes there? Because that was supposed to be like some big secret, like a
Right.
Yeah.
Well, and they also lead us to believe in the first episode of the whole thing, of the whole season 1, her when Shauna and Jeff are in the car doing their like sneaky sex, she says something about if you get me pregnant, I will raise him to come and kill you. And I thought, oh, that's gonna play. Somehow that's gonna play
It's a
because we know
neon
she's pregnant in the
arrow.
woods. Like something's gonna happen, and then actually it didn't at all. Like
Yeah.
I think that's also frustrating. I've been wrong on a
Huh.
lot of stuff.
Yeah.
I was convinced that Jeff hadn't read the diaries, that he like or they were fake diaries.
Yeah.
Because I was like, there's no way that he would be so nonchalant about her giving birth in the woods and then some of the stuff that we're seeing. It feels like
I
he had
think-
sort of a nothing reaction. And I was like, well,
I think
okay.
what's frustrating is we had these huge theories thanks to Reddit and such, like that Adam was Javi grown up,
Mhm.
Yeah.
yes,
Yeah.
or
The
and
diary.
then someone said Adam was Shauna's baby. that grew
Yes.
up. Like
Nope.
Yeah.
we had these insane. So we're thinking the most disgusting, crazy things in the world, and then it turns out to just be like not as crazy.
Yeah.
And that's always disappointing.
Yeah, it's like the second season was written by somebody who didn't watch the first season.
right.
Right.
I had an alternate ending for season 2, which was very
Yes.
Lost-ish, which
Okay,
would have
let's
been
go.
bananas.
We compare the shows all the time. Yeah.
Yes. So my ending for season 2 was that the cabin gets burned down and all the girls inside die.
Yeah.
And then you're like, who the hell are
Are
all these
these
girls
people?
who came back? it's like and there might be some sort of like weird, like that sort of brings back like the supernatural like
Yeah.
weirdness to it, because all of a sudden you're like, because that opens up a whole world of possibilities where maybe Adam was Javi, and like maybe there is some weird thing
Is it
happening
like
on the
another dimension,
Right.
or are
Yeah.
these pod people?
that brings out
Was
a
it
whole like
all
but-
in a snow globe in Lottie's imagination?
Yes.
Mhm,
St.
mhm.
Elsewhere. Yes, we said that. Yes.
I love that.
Yeah.
Another
Yeah.
theory about the fire would be
Can-
that the smoke would draw a rescue team and they would find Coach Ben and he would say, "No, I'm the only one out here." And then the girls get
Ah.
left. We don't do
Yeah.
you believe that he started the fire, or
Yeah.
that maybe a
100%.
supernatural the wilderness started the fire?
No.
Ben.
The wilderness started the fire. No.
Ben's like, these ladies are a nightmare. I'm gonna eat all of them.
Yeah.
I'm sorry. I wanted to eat them now.
So
Barbecue.
what's surprise? So also, I don't know how Ben is alive because Ben has not eaten anyone.
Right. He's so
I'm not.
hungry.
I'm
True,
honestly
yeah.
not sure what he's eating because
Belt
now he hasn't
juice.
eaten in 3 months.
Belt
Yeah,
juice,
belt juice. Or I don't
Yeah.
know.
So,
So
do you
Did
know
the
what
belt
happened
juice
to his
poison
leg?
them? That was another theory. The
Yeah.
belt juice
Belt
gave
juice
them
poison.
some sort of poison.
They're
Oh, the
still on high
tannins.
from their.
Yeah.
That's actually a good theory because
Because
you know
people have been saying there's something underground with rust or mercury or
Mhm.
something that's poisoning
Methane
them
or some-
slowly,
yeah,
but
Mhm.
then the belt poisoning, they kept focusing on the belt.
well that's a thing with like brownfields, like leather tanneries, like they are poisonous. Like that's a whole thing.
Yeah.
But that's
Well,
when there
that
are
makes sense.
only a couple of I mean, how many belts could there? How
Yeah.
many leather belts were packed in these girls' suitcases on the way to a soccer tournament?
Maybe it was cabin
Right?
daddies.
Yeah.
Oh.
But see that would in order to believe that you'd have to think that they were putting Easter eggs in all along,
Right.
and it just doesn't feel like they did that. Like
So
there
that's
was
the thing,
nothing
like,
there.
Do you remember the shot when Natalie's about to die and she sees Misty across the field from season 1, which they're trying to make it seem like is an Easter egg? It's from when they all get like high at that bonfire before they go on their trip, and she sees Misty, and they've been saying, "Oh, it's going to be so important later. It's going to be such an Easter egg. You're not going to believe it." And then they put it in, and it was like, I feel like you just added that after to make it seem like you were doing an Easter egg.
Yep.
Yeah. Can I ask you guys something?
Yeah.
I thought that for me, and I mean this really as a compliment, the thing that was most disturbing the whole season for me was when they started episode 7, where they changed the theme song and they took the synthesizers out, and it was
To
just
Alanis.
Yeah, to the
Alanis
Alanis Morissette
Morissette,
version.
yeah.
and I was fucking terrified. I go, what is about to happen?
Nothing.
What is about to happen? And then
Nothing.
nothing happens.
But
And then they switch back to the original.
Yeah, they do. Yeah.
But I was thinking that meant something. I was like, yeah, it
Yeah.
definitely, and it means something.
My
They
ears
switched
went
it
up, you know,
back.
and I-
like,
Yeah.
it's a
But
whole
that's-
now.
I had a
no.
visceral reaction to that and nothing else for the season. I'm so disappointed.
Okay, so
I
the
will say
big
something really quick
Yeah.
about the belt. I
Oh.
did notice in season 1, Jackie wears a belt because I thought, you're taking the time to put on a belt. Is the belt built into those shorts? It's specifically in the summer when they find the cabin. She's got a belt on, and I'm
Oh.
like,
That's
why
90s
does she have
though.
a
I think
belt
if they're
on?
all starving, that they would want.
they're
a belt.
losing weight and
Someone's-
they need to tie up their
Yeah,
pants.
that could
Yeah.
be it. Yeah.
Yeah.
So the big question, much like Lost, was always like man of faith, man of science. That was like one of the big themes. Is there something supernatural in the
Right.
wilderness, or is it some sort of joint delusion or mental illness or mercury belt poisoning?
Well, as much as I want the show wanted me to think it might be something else, I actually think it's like starvation and delusion.
do?
I do. I do.
Mhm.
But I do think that there is some sort of like warm there is a warm cave underground.
Right.
That's a fact. So there
Yeah.
is something underground that's causing stuff.
Mhm.
Mhm.
But I do think there's traumatic stuff that they
Yeah.
came back with. And when they say it came back with us, that's what they're referring to.
the trauma, the
Mhm.
like
Yeah.
this
Yeah.
right shift.
That's
in-
what I
okay.
Well, that line in the last episode that was when they said, "There's no it, we are it, we are," and Lottie said, "Is there any difference?"
And scene.
Because yeah, it really was. It was a mic drop, and that's the whole
It
plot
was.
of the
What
show.
do you think, Kevin?
I think. Well, if they made me the showrunner and let me rewrite the Bible for the series, yeah, there's a supernatural element to it, which is, what gets them to the animal wearing antler wearing
Sure.
cannibalistic
Yeah.
tribe
Mhm.
that gets them there. Yeah, but there's also something in the wilderness driving it, and I think you also have to come up in the next season with some kind of others to go back to Lost. You've got to give them some conflict, and it's
Mhm.
got to be something real. Again, there are no stakes. There seem to be no stakes left, and we just know that everybody else in that cabin was a red shirt or is a red shirt and a delicious red shirt
Yeah.
at that. So yeah, it needs to be rewritten, but I don't think it's yeah, like methane in the woods. Does anybody think that the Natalie's plane crash dying scene was just artistic or an
Me.
illusion in her dying head, or is that part of the supernatural wilderness thing going on?
I don't understand why her dying scene is so vastly. We have 2 death scenes at the end of season 1 and then this one at the end of season 2. They are miles different. Miles and miles different, where she's for some reason not seeing Travis. She's
The
seeing
love of her life,
Javi,
Travis, is not
which
on that
is
plane.
very odd. Sort of that she's got her younger self and Javi. That's it. Jackie gets everyone coming around and doing a circle
Giving her
of
hot chocolate.
we
Yeah.
don't I mean, it doesn't make a lot of sense that which makes me feel like I don't know if it's a red herring, but I
Well,
don't know. I don't know. I don't know
it's
what's going
interesting.
on.
It's almost like she was left behind, she was left back there, and like when she let him die, like that's when she actually died. That's
Yeah.
what I took from it.
Mm.
Like she's like, I
Okay.
actually died when I let you die.
Yeah.
That's what I took from it.
Do you think she found any forgiveness for herself, which was kind of her arc
Exactly.
in season 2, and then she was able to die because she kind of
Because she
forgave
saves
herself?
Lisa. She
She
didn't
saved
save
Lisa,
Javi. She
so
saves
she
Lisa.
kind of
Right.
tried to
But does
make
she
up
really
for it.
save anybody? Does she really sacrifice anybody when she gets accidentally stabbed in the neck by stupid Misty?
I
Right.
think we're supposed to think that she did. Yes.
Is
One
that
of the
Because she
theories
pushes
is like,
Lisa
Yeah.
and then she gets the stab. But again, I don't know why Lisa's here. I'm confused about just Lisa as
why
a
did they build
why
her
are
up
we
all
here?
season and then
Stick
I
a
thought
fork
she
in your
was
it
eye.
really could have been
Shauna's
anybody
daughter.
who
I had
shot
no
Yeah.
I mean, I had no idea what was
that
going
scene with
on.
her mom and the goldfish. It was such a big part of the scene. I don't know. The
Why
story.
does
It
Van
took
have
such
cancer?
Why does
Yeah.
I don't know. It seems like like, well, if someone's going to sacrifice themselves, why not it be Tan? Because she doesn't want to
Ty?
Ty. No, not Ty.
Oh,
Van.
Van, not
Van,
Tan.
Because
yeah.
Van has
Oh,
cancer.
Tan could be their shipper
Because
name.
the
That's
wilderness
exactly right.
has to choose Kevin.
Yeah.
It
It
chooses.
chooses. She
Yeah, and
can't
it
choose
says
for herself.
we don't want your scary ass. Although I always kind of thought there might have been something supernatural protecting Van because she
Has
gets
died
saved.
so many times. Yeah,
Yeah.
The
almost.
fire.
So many times it's like I do
Yeah.
not sleep on.
She's
on
immortal.
her.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But then we get to the question of are people really dying? Like, unfortunately, then we get to are they in purgatory? What's happening?
Yeah.
Because it seems like Van has died multiple times. She was, I mean, literally about to be burned because they all thought she was dead, and then she just wakes up on the fire thing after she gets bit by the wolf. I don't know about Van is not going to have cancer for that much longer though, because that's what the sacrifice did. Is it now?
Oh.
She's going to
Well,
be
Lottie
clear.
at the end said it hurt us. It was pleased with us and looked at Van and said, "You'll know
Looks at
soon
Van,
enough."
and Van sort of
So
gets
that
this
was
look like
your
this, and it's
cancer's
like,
gone now.
yeah,
Yeah.
her cancer's about
That's
to be
what people
gone.
think it means.
Yeah.
See.
Or it might mean that Redbox is going to buy out her store.
There you go.
Do you guys just do Ty's eyes turn red, or is that just
Yes,
the color
she has
of the actress's
contacts
eyes?
on.
Okay.
Ah.
Just checking because I'm like, does the actress like have red eyes? Or what the hell
No,
is
it's
going on?
Yeah.
colored contacts, but it
Thank you.
totally yeah.
Okay. I'm sorry. Those are
And
just
her-
details that I had
And
never
her
Googled.
ex-wife's in the hospital in coma, and who's watching the kid?
We
Who's
argue
watching
about
the
this
kid?
all the time.
I talk about it every episode,
And I'm
'cause
like,
I've
it's
lost
just
my mind
he's
over it.
fine. A relative picked him up.
Who's
I'm
watching
sure
the
he's
dog?
fine.
But
Who's
we
watching
got a
dog
lot
number
of
2?
Ty's
you-
adult
We don't
story last time. In season 1, we get a lot of her story in the
Yeah.
modern timeline, and this season, it's like we get a teeny tiny bit, and
Right.
then none, and no. She stole that woman's car.
Yeah.
She just
yeah.
took her assistant's car and left
Oh,
it on the
yeah.
side of the road. Nothing. It's
And
fine.
no one
She's a
cares. The
senator,
cops at
right?
the end that there's a state senator there with like 3 people are dead and there's a state senator there. Okay. It's fine.
Right.
Doesn't matter.
Yeah,
Doesn't
we're not
matter.
going to talk
Doesn't
about it.
matter.
It's like being a Kennedy.
We are so grateful for you to come on. Do you have any last thoughts before we bring on our next guest? We love you both so much.
Yeah,
hope you know that.
I have one final last thought.
Yes.
So now that you've told me why this season is the way that it is, I just want to say
because of the showrunners.
Yeah.
I just
That
want
was
to
like
say
a
though, I
mind-
love Melanie Linsky so much.
That's what I was going to say. Yeah.
And I don't think Melanie Linsky listens to anything we make, but
Maybe the comment section right
my
now.
biggest
Maybe.
fear is that she'll hear how much I hated this season and like be mad at me because she's best friends with Janet Varney, who I actually know.
I didn't know they
Anyway,
were best friends.
yeah, they're really good friends. But my hope is that this season ends up becoming some sort of like retcon connective tissue between season 1 and season 3, which has happened with other shows before.
Yes. Yes.
So
And does
that's
it change
my
people's memory of it? Like in a couple
Yeah.
years, they won't
Yes.
think of season 2 as how much they hated it anymore.
Yeah.
Yes.
I think Melanie Linsky should wake up in the shower saying it was all a dream.
The most
JR
frustrating,
style.
JR, Bobby Ewing. Oh, it's just a dream.
what got me so frustrated, I think, is because she has said in interviews she didn't sign up for the show until she made them explain seasons 1 through 5 to her. Because she said, I don't want to join a show that's like Lost, where they just are adding things as they're going and it doesn't make sense. And they said,
Yeah.
no, here's what we have for season 3. Here's season 4. This question will get answered here. So they laid it out for her, and that's why she agreed to take the job. And then this season didn't really feel like that. So that was frustrating.
She
But
should
we
have asked
agree,
more
we love her.
questions.
Yeah, she's wonderful.
She deserves
great.
better.
I want her to play me in
Their
the
whole
movie.
their whole present day storyline was just bleh.
That'd be
Yeah.
amazing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I agree.
All right.
But
So
I'm
sorry,
st-
I
I'm
just want to
still
make
gonna
sure I have
watch-
this right. I have Rebecca for no Supernatural, and Kevin, do I have you for no Supernatural
No,
as well?
I think Supernatural. I think,
think
Supernatural.
Supernatural.
All
Okay.
Supernatural. All X
All right.
Files.
I am wearing my symbol shirt. 'Cause I am
Whatever
Where
that
did you
means,
get
yeah.
that?
I
Etsy?
buy on TeePublic or Redbubble,
yeah.
wherever. I just get. I gotta get my.
Yeah, and I'm wearing my
Yellowjackets shirt.
homage to the '90s and Yellowjackets yellow plaid
Have you
shirt.
done a needlepoint of that yet?
No, I'm going to.
Do
I
that.
don't know
gotta
what
do
it'll
that.
say though.
It could just be that.
Yeah,
Or
Melanie
it
Linsky
chooses.
deserved better.
It chooses.
It chooses.
It chooses.
yeah.
There you go. I love it.
Thank you guys so much for having us.
Thank
It was so
you.
fun.
Yeah.
You guys are the
Everyone,
Thank you for having
in
us.
case you're
Or
not,
thank you for coming to us.
yes, thank you. These Are Their Stories is literally one of our favorite podcasts. I listen every time they release a new episode, and Katie was just a guest. It's so funny. It's like they're recapping Law and Order, all the SVU and Criminal Intent and OG, and
You
Crime
love Law
Writers
and Order,
On
and you have not, done.
is incredible because it tells you what the newest in true crime and documentaries and podcasts, and thumbs up, thumbs down, and it's great.
Thank you. Thanks for
Thanks
for the
having
plug.
us.
Yeah.
And they're true crime writers, like they know what they're talking about. So
Oh,
Yeah.
we pretend we do. All right. Well, thank
in
you.
real life.
thank you so much. We
Thank
love you
you.
both. Thank
We love you
Bye.
too. Thanks so much.
Bye.
Bye bye.
Okay, so we are going to bring on Amanda from. Is that Amanda's next? No, Mary Payne and Amy are next.
Okay,
We are
I'm
so
trying to
excited.
fix my light because for some reason I'm all pink. So sorry, everyone.
You look great, ladies.
I
are you
mean,
ready? I
it
can
was
see you
all
in the
pink.
green room. Yes. Okay. I'm
Oh,
bringing-
they're ready. Okay.
They're ready. We're coming on.
Hello.
Hello. So we have Mary Payne, who's like our thruple sister podcaster,
Sister wife. Mhm.
sister wife,
Sister wife.
who
Yeah.
hosts
Mhm.
Pink Shade, and we've both been on a million times and are like, I don't know what we call ourselves at this point.
Best friends.
And then
Yeah.
Amy Archer is also a guest host.
I'm
of
just
the
the
show.
stepsister over here. Like,
And she
no,
has
you're
her own
overqualified.
podcast. Little Miss Recap is Amy's podcast.
Yeah.
So, and
Mhm.
she's been recapping Yellowjackets as well.
Correct.
So Mary Payne thinks she's more of a casual viewer, but she's
Yes.
watched all the episodes and
Yes.
tuned into our live streams and
Yes.
leaves crazy comments in the chat. So, ladies, season 2, what did you think?
Okay, I have
Mary
a question
Payne?
first. I have a question for something you just said when
Yeah.
you were talking. You said that was the showrunners' idea, something about season 2. When you go, yeah, we're blaming the showrunners. I must have missed what you said before. Can you tell me
They
quickly?
only wrote the first episode of season 2, and then the
Okay.
rest of the writing team wrote the rest of season 2. At
Oh,
least
so
that's
they
what people are
farmed it out
saying.
to an MFA program. Got it.
Yeah,
Got
bye
it.
everybody.
That
They're like, we're
explains
starting a
everything.
spin-off, another show,
Mhm.
whatever. I don't know what they were doing, but that it doesn't that make sense?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
It makes sense. The same
What
thing
it just
happened with
wasn't as good. The quality and
Same thing happened with Little House on the Prairie. They did 3 which I covered on my other podcast. They did 3 seasons and then they just pieced out and gave it to a bunch of high school students. So
Melissa
that's what
Gilbert, Little House on the Prairie, or is there
yeah.
a new one?
No,
No.
Okay.
No.
Yeah, they shouldn't redo it.
that's the one she's covering, that real recent program, Little House on the Prairie.
No, I know Little House on the Prairie with Nellie. Oh, I
course,
remember
yes.
Nellie.
And
Yeah.
I'm
Mary
sure
Payne,
you
your
remember
wallpaper is
Paw.
getting a shout out.
Oh, what? I love it. I love my wallpaper.
That's her new wallpaper. It's good.
I love it, guys. Okay, I have a question for you as well. So, because I joined just like the last 10 minutes,
Mhm.
did you guys discuss yet? Because I discussed this with Amy over on Little Miss Recap. Did you discuss Shauna's daughter is it? Because Lottie was like, "It's here with us now," and is Callie it?
In the last episode, it felt like when Callie got involved in the shooting and then Lottie said to her, like, "It's here with us now. That's your daughter. Your daughter's so strong." It did feel like it was now in Callie, which is
Yeah.
disappointing because we always want less of Callie, not more of Callie. So I'm not
Oh,
looking
Mary
forward
Payne and
to
I,
Antler Queen.
the mothers
Callie.
of teenagers, we want way less of Callie.
I
Okay,
can't
there you go.
imagine how triggering Callie must be if you actually have teenage daughters.
Oh,
Yeah,
Because we
Yeah.
don't have teenage daughters and she drives us insane.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, it's rough. Mhm.
But accurate, good writing.
Yeah.
Well, I thought she was 25, so I don't even know how old she is. I
had
can't
that
get a
same
read on
issue.
this kid.
Yeah, I
That's a
kept thinking that she
casting-
was her first year in college. I was like, no, yeah, she's like 19, 20.
How many
maybe.
times did I have
She's-
to explain that to Katie? I'd be like,
Yeah.
he shouldn't be dating her. She's underage. And Katie'd be like, no, she's in college.
I'm like,
she
she's
had that.
not.
She had that
would've-
ID. She had that ID.
And then
Yeah.
poor little innocent me, I'm like, but she's in a bar. She's got to be 21.
Also, we never see her in school. Does she go
No,
to
she
school? Is she
doesn't.
homeschooled?
Think
Does she
so.
school at home?
She
Okay.
has
Yeah,
some
she gets-
absentee parents that have gone
Sometimes she
through
gets
some
picked
stuff.
up at school. Sometimes you see her coming out of the school.
Oh, yeah, that's true.
Oh,
Right.
did we?
Did see her
Okay.
getting picked
Yeah.
All right.
up once.
That's true.
There we go.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Who
So-
do sorry, go ahead.
No, go ahead.
Who do you like on the show? Like favorite characters?
Oh, my favorite was Nat, 100%.
Young or old?
Both.
Both.
Yeah.
Young Nat was me 100% in high school with the bleached hair and the leather jacket and the friend you secretly wanted to hook up with but didn't know you existed and writing and all that angsty stuff. So I was definitely Nat, loved her, and I loved her arc in the second season. Even though there wasn't a lot that was great in the second season, I thought her journey was the best written, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
Because
That does make sense. She
she
gets
was
the
searching
biggest
for
arc.
forgiveness
Yeah.
for herself. And yeah, she did have kind of an arc. Even
Yeah,
though
for
it was
sure.
sad that she finally found forgiveness and we lost her. Like
I know.
she found
Did we-
heliotrope and
Did we?
lost
Did
her.
we lose her? Because
don't
when I
know.
was talking with Amy, I too love I love the actress that plays young Natalie.
Oh, she's so good.
I don't know what it is about her. Like I'm terrified of her, but I'm also like intrigued with her.
Mhm.
Like I would have been in high school, I would have like wanted to be her friend, but also been scared. I think she's really cool. But that Amy pointed out on her podcast, which is that when they were on the plane, when she's dead, how come young Lottie's there? If Lottie's right here, like,
Right.
I have a theory about Lottie. I believe that the Lottie at the cult is not Lottie.
Charlotte,
Right.
she's Lottie.
Because Misty makes a point to say 2 or 3 times, I can't believe I missed this. I can't believe I lost track of her. And
You're
Misty
totally
clearly
right.
does not miss anything.
You're totally right. She
I
does
just-
say that. I have
And
not
we've
heard that
discussed
theory
like
yet.
how did no one know that she's been out of that psych ward
Right.
for 10
10
years?
years.
Right.
Especially Misty and the reporter Jessica Roberts, like no one knew. So do you think it's an imposter?
I think
Or-
it's Mari or one of the other girls.
We know there's one
Ooh.
more survivor, right? Or that's the rumor that there
There
is
is
one
a
more.
rumor
Yeah.
that this is a big spoiler. Turn off, fast forward. That people think that Mari does survive because there's a shot of them being rescued from earlier in the season, that one scene that we get, and there's somebody who looks a lot like Mari.
Yeah. There you go.
So that
I
it
also
would
gotta
have to
say-
be somebody who would kind of be able to pass for
I
her.
need more twists like this.
They
This
could
is what
pass
we
for each
want.
other.
Yeah.
Because
Yeah.
Katie and I were just talking about in our last segment that we had these huge ideas and then a
I
lot of them, like
know.
Adam was Javi and the baby is the pit girl and the, or whatever.
You have Lost-itis. We just were
Yes.
so burned by Lost.
And then
We
the
can't do this.
reality never matches up to all the stuff Reddit has created in its beautiful, crazy mind.
Like,
Like our crazy string walls.
I'm convinced that Crystal the Pistol started the fire because Misty could not find her body,
Yeah.
and I think it was too obvious that it was Ben. And
I
I was
think
telling
that
Mary
Ben is a
Payne,
red herring for sure. I don't think
yeah,
Ben
like
did it.
you don't go
do,
from
Katie, I
I'm
didn't know
so
that.
appalled I can't eat
Mhm.
a person to I'm gonna murder 17 young girls. Like you just don't make that leap. So
I mean, they are annoying teenage girls,
Well,
but
I'm not
he
saying I
has
wouldn't
been
do it,
so
but I'm just saying I don't think
anti-violent.
he did. Yeah.
But Ben's also reaction when because he's watching the scene when Natalie gets put in charge or whatever as the new
Yeah.
head of
Pistering.
cabin.
The
Yeah.
Godfather scene, yeah.
Yeah, the captain of the team. So when that's happening, Ben sort of is smiling, and I think that what we're seeing is Ben being like, "They're going to be okay," because Nat's in charge, and Nat's
Mm.
good.
And he still trusts Nat, even though
He
Nat thinks
does.
she's a bad person now.
It's a
Right.
really good point, Katie.
So I think that that's kind of where he's at, and they're letting us believe that he burned the cabin. But I think Crystal's a good theory on that. I also think if we're thinking that there is someone else in the wilderness, possibly Cabin Daddy's adult child, that would because
Cabin
have
Daddy.
you guys heard about that the Cabin Daddy picture that was released of him holding a little girl?
No, what?
No.
What?
Yeah, so there is a picture
Oh my
that's
God,
been
is it the
released of
fake Lottie?
him. It is. Well, it's him holding a girl because Cabin Daddy's already dead. He's been dead a long time. And
Yeah.
so
Cabin
we
Daddy's
don't
the
know.
guy in the attic, the
The
skeleton.
skeleton.
Yeah,
Yeah,
the
yeah,
skeleton. So I think we're gonna get his backstory. I think we're gonna get his story
In that
coming up
secret episode?
in the secret episode. I think it's all about him.
Okay, so let's think about this. What in the
Mhm.
cabin can we use to indicate how long Cabin Daddy's been dead? Like, was there technology in the cabin that would say he was at least alive, within the last 10, 15
The
years?
food, I would say there were like worms in some of the food, but it was cans.
Mhm.
I mean, it wasn't like 100 years ago. It was definitely
Right.
in the last decade or two.
Was that Cabin Daddy's airplane?
Yeah, which
Mm.
looks like an older airplane.
Yeah,
Or maybe
I-
They
just
were able to get it work get it to work. I
janky,
mean,
small
where did-
airplane.
Thinking
where do you get the gasoline for that?
his clothes look like they might be 70s.
the plane gave me a 70s feel.
Mhm.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
So
So
if he's there in the 70s and they're there in the 90s and the little girl is 5 when they're there in the 70s,
she's
she could be
45.
No, it's 20 years. They're there in the 90s.
Oh,
So
you're
she
right.
would be
So
she
20
could
years,
be
she'd be
she could be
15.
anywhere from
So she's Callie.
25 to she's Callie. That's it.
She's 25. She's Callie. She's in the bars. She's in the bars. She's in the bars.
But it could be and that could also be Javi's friend. Javi's friend that said she told me not to come back here or whatever.
Mhm.
That's
Yeah.
I
sort of
really
Javi's
like this
mysterious
theory,
friend.
Katie. Yeah.
Yeah.
Could have something to do with that. So she could be running around. I don't know how she's making birds fall out of the sky, but she might be setting
Right.
the cabin on fire.
Right.
Right.
What are the little bones? Did either of you have any theories on the little bones that we find in the cave? Just out of
I
curiosity.
felt they were like rodent bones or bird
Yeah.
bones. Yeah. They
They
were
weren't
definitely not
crystal
baby
bones.
bones.
Yeah, and they
Well,
weren't
that's what I
crystal.
said. They couldn't
not-
be crystal, and they
They're
couldn't
way
be
too small.
the baby
No,
because there was
that
too
would be
many of
wrong.
them.
Yeah.
We were real brave on our podcast, and we were a team. Don't eat that baby. Real brave.
Hot
That's
take.
right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Hot take.
The producers had kept saying they're not going to eat the baby, and then they got away with it by having it be like a
Be a dream.
dream scene. Yeah.
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 So-
yeah.
Do you think people are being resurrected?
No.
Do you think
No,
there's
but
any way Crystal
did-
did die and then arose?
No, but I did
think
have a
she
theory at one
walked
point
away.
that the cabin might be making things that are alive or dead look alive because of the mouse. And I was like, oh, so does the cabin distort reality in some way?
Oh, is the
because
cabin
everybody-
magic? Magic
Well,
cabin.
that's-
magic cabin.
Is it magic cabin or is it just hunger making them crazy or mercury poisoning,
I
belt
came
poisoning?
to think it was hunger. I came
know.
to be like, okay, Amy, you got to calm down here.
They were all hallucinating
Probably,
towards
yeah.
the end.
Yeah.
So, but poor Nugget, R.I.P.
But that's an interesting, but hold on to that theory. Don't let that go completely because that's not there could be something there that it's
Mhm.
making things look.
But what
Was
happens
Nugget-
if
was
it's a
Nugget
magic
ever
cabin?
was Was
and it's
Nugget ever
burned down.
alive? Was Nugget ever alive? Or
No,
Nugget
I don't
was
think
Not,
Nugget was
I don't
dead.
think when
alive.
Akila found
We
it.
don't
I think
know.
it was already dead.
Because I really like Akila, and I really like how she stepped up during the birth, and
Yeah.
I really like how she was taking care of Nugget. So in my mind, I was like, Nugget was alive the whole time. At some point, Nugget died, and she didn't realize it. But you're saying no, that's
It looked like
I,
it'd been dead for
I
a
think
I'm
hot
thinking it
had
was
minute.
a
been
Sixth Sense
fossilized.
situation.
It was like fossilized. I think
Yep.
it was. Yeah.
That could,
Okay, so speaking of Crystal, some people swear that they saw her after the fire, and some
Where?
people say they did not see her after the fire.
Oh, in the group shot.
Okay.
Oh,
Yes.
Well, do you have any still shots of that, Kimberly?
I mean, on
Somewhere?
Reddit, there's the one, and it doesn't have Akila and it doesn't have Jen, but in Jen's the
Brunette
one
number
with the
3.
brown hair. But
Okay.
a lot of people say they saw Akila, but I think no one spotted
No.
Jen.
You do not see Akila in that shot. There's 2 shots of them
She
as a
says
group.
no.
There's one at the very end, and then there's one a little bit before, and it clearly shows everybody. You see that girl that's always in the pink baseball cap. Melissa. You see her, and then you see our main people who we all know are alive, but you do not see Akila, and you do not see that other brunette Jen.
Are you counting them and then counting the ones that we've
Yes.
seen, like get off the
People on
plane?
Reddit were. I just let them do the work.
That's like who we
Okay.
know is in the cabin right now. And so they're
Okay.
and they're not there. So I mean, it's real like obvious these are who we have left. So I'm not sure. I don't know. I feel like somebody would be saying we have to go get them or something, realizing that they're not there.
No.
If it's
but-
the
It's-
just
Yeah,
the
that's
after the
true.
cabin, where are they? Where are they? I will be sad if Akila doesn't get like a proper death scene because we've learned
Yeah.
to care about her.
But then she'll be smoked and
whatever.
baked and ready
I
to
mean,
go.
What year is this? 1996?
Yeah,
Have
Mhm.
we learned nothing from Home Alone at this point? Like you do the head count.
head count.
Have we learned nothing? Listen, if
apparently
I'm
not.
ever murdered, and I want this on record for posterity.
Okay.
If
Yeah.
I'm ever murdered, I want Katie on the case.
Oh, I agree with that.
Okay.
Really?
Absolutely.
Mhm,
Yeah.
I'll be
mhm.
on it.
I'm trying
Yeah.
to get her to
Okay.
solve DB Cooper right now. So
That's not going well. But that's a big one. I'm
Yeah.
ready. Okay.
Okay,
Amy,
all
I
right.
will make that pledge to you.
Make
Our
that
big
note in your records
question-
there.
that we were
I'm
talking
writing
about
it down.
Kevin and Rebecca, and one of the themes being, is it supernatural or is it joint group delusion, hunger, mercury poisoning, belt poisoning?
Yeah.
Is it the wilderness or is it just them?
We're
being
trying to get a
survivors?
poll on if you think it's supernatural or if you think this
She's
is like
keeping a poll for next
trauma.
No
response.
supernatural. I refuse to believe that. I won't have watched the show for this long and it turns out to be something supernatural. I'm going to be furious and I'm going to blame both of you. I don't know why, but I am.
Good.
Wow.
This is
Yeah.
because Mary Payne never watched Lost, so she's very bitter about supernatural things. I think
I
that's
don't
Oh.
want it. Listen, I got into Stranger Things not knowing what was going to happen there and I'm still mad about it. Still mad about it.
Okay.
Demigorgons aren't real. Okay.
I watched Game of Thrones and the first season, I was like, is this supernatural? Is it not? And then the dragons came and I was like, oh, okay.
Yeah, no.
I didn't
And
know.
and people have sex with dragons on that show. I don't know that to
No,
be true.
no,
I just
they
say
don't.
it.
No,
they
they
do.
don't.
There's dragon sex.
Listen.
Heard about it.
I don't think it's supernatural.
Okay.
You don't.
But I will say this. I think it is the worst of humanity at the worst possible time. It's a show about, what you will do in your darkest hour to survive.
Yeah.
Present day and past.
That makes sense.
And then
Yeah.
it's also, obviously it's all about unresolved trauma. Nobody
Mhm.
has gone to a therapist except for Lottie that we know of.
Mhm.
But I think that
Didn't work out for her though.
I think
No.
it's not going to be
Mm.
supernatural. I just don't. I just think a lot
don't
of the
either.
things are going to end up being explained by people just doing really bad things to kind of just survive and make it.
Well, Lottie says that thing to Natalie in the plane, which was it's not bad. It's just hungry,
just
like
hungry.
us. Like
Mhm,
it's just was about survival. So what you did with Javi, that was just human instinct, survival.
mhm.
Plus they're
Yep.
teenagers, frontal lobes not developed,
Yep.
and the group trauma.
Mhm.
How did the birds die?
Well, that's why I am team.
That could have been like a weather event. I'm
You
just
think
going to
so?
make this up, okay? Because I'm an
No,
English
tell me,
major.
yeah.
I'm not a scientist.
Yeah.
I'm just going to say something like a sulfur cloud. I don't know what
Right.
that
Yeah,
is,
Well,
sounds
they
great.
did have that
but
I
like
like
some
that.
kind of
A
thing
burst of
in the
sulfur.
air.
They had the Rust River. And
that's true. They
but
do
there
have
was also the kind of a smoke monster from Lost going, sorry, Mary Payne,
Yes,
going through
yes.
and dropping the snow on Jackie's burning
Again,
thing.
weather event. We don't know where these people are. Are they
Just
in
wind.
Antarctica? I don't think you have to
It's just
fly
a
over
weather event.
Antarctica to get to where they were going. But I don't know. I don't.
Okay. We have
Okay.
a question. Please explain the bear coming to Lottie and bowing.
Well,
It was stretching like your dog does. Stretch, big stretch. And
It
then
was
we all
doing
go,
downward
oh,
dog.
big stretch. And then we all go, oh, big stretch, doggy, big stretch. The bear was stretching.
I
That makes
mean,
sense.
we
Solved
don't
it.
know though.
Yoga.
Like
Bear
it's
yoga.
Yoga.
instead of an unreliable narrator, we have 12 of them.
Yeah.
So we don't know who saw the bear do this. We don't know how the bear did this. Like I
Right.
don't know.
We don't know how
maybe
any
it's the
of
Gen
it
Xer in me, but I
actually
can't trust
happened.
it. Can't trust
And I
it.
also feel like they're not giving us, probably on purpose, anything that cannot be explained away as not
Explained.
supernatural.
I agree.
Like they're definitely giving us stuff where like that bear was sick. You know, they're giving
Right.
us stuff that you can explain it away, but it still
I'm gonna
seems
explain
to be that
everything away.
they're making it a big question on purpose.
I agree, Katie.
I think
mean,
it's very interesting if it can all be explained. And they went through that a lot in season 1 with Laura Lee and Lottie. Was like, is Laura Lee mentally ill, or is she like a religious being that is having visions like people in the
Right.
Bible do? You know, like what is
Right.
the line here? Is
Right.
it? So I think they've been playing with that. So I'm very curious to see. I'm just sticking with it because I really like the symbol. But I don't know. I honestly don't know.
Do you have any theories on the symbol? Amy?
I hate the symbol.
You hate it
I hate it.
Well,
'Cause
I
you
just
can't
found
figure it out?
I just found out from talking to Amy that when they pulled back from the Lottie compound,
Yeah.
the whole place looked like
That
the
was a
symbol.
great shot.
And then I dreamed about it last night. Like I was like, oh my, I forgot to, because I was like, I need to go back and watch. And then I dreamed and remembered that I forgot in my dream and stressed myself out.
Oh,
So
wow.
yeah,
That's the whole thing.
Yeah, it's a whole thing. So I think that the symbol, I don't know that who's carving it in the tree. Was it Ty? Is it Ty? Is she doing it with her teeth?
No,
in the
I
middle of
think
the
it was
night?
there before. I think it was Cabin Daddy, maybe, or his daughter.
Is he marking a trail? Like if you follow these, you'll get to.
Well,
you
one
know?
person, one of the Reddit theories is that they all do make a map, and it is some sort of tunnel system or underground. Not gas. What was it, Katie? Like
Yeah, it was
when
mining.
landscapers go out mining or something.
And so
like,
it was marking
Yeah.
like something to
and
do
maybe
with
he was and landscaper's not the right word. What's the word I'm looking
surveyor.
for? Surveyor.
Mhm.
That would go out and do markings for something. So
Yeah.
and something's going on underneath, and each marker has to do with that.
Better
Yeah.
not
I
be
don't know.
demigorgons underneath there. It better not be the
Yeah.
upside down. Better not.
I do think though, for season 3, I heard you guys talking with your last guest about
Mhm.
season 3. I think we're going to see a split in this camp, and I think it's going to become a battle for the soul of somebody. I don't know who's going to be in the middle. Maybe
Ben.
Shauna.
In the present
I think they're
day,
just going to push him off a cliff.
the
You think so?
present
Hold on.
day, or in the cabin,
The wilderness.
In
In
the
the
wilderness.
wilderness.
Well, not the cabin. I mean, wherever the hell they're. What are they
Yeah.
going to go? And so you guys are like, oh, they have one more winter. So
Yeah.
everybody's
Yeah.
keeping track of time here, which is something
Half a winter.
They have half a winter left
Mhm.
because they
Well,
get
Yeah,
rescued
because
in winter.
Shauna was pregnant when they crashed, and she just
Okay.
had the baby,
Yeah.
Mhm.
and they're out
And
there
they're
for
there
19
for
months.
Okay.
They're there
19
for
months.
19 months. So it's a year and a half. And they got there in the spring. So it will be fall. So I think they will have a whole nother winter left. Yeah.
What will they do? Where will they go?
That's when I think the hunting starts with the pit girl. I think they have enough food now with Javi to get them through this winter, and it will be next winter that will be the problem.
So the food when they chopped up Javi and served him. I just remembered also I had a dream about that biting of the heart.
Yeah, that was rough.
Okay, do you guys remember the Brad Pitt movie where he has the long hair, Legends of the Fall?
Mhm.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
Calm down,
I was
Amy.
a teenage girl. Of course, I remember that
Uh-huh.
movie.
Mhm.
And isn't that when he goes out hunting with the Native American friend, and when they kill somebody, he says we have to take their heart out, and then they take it out? It reminded me of that a little bit, in that like you've got to take it out as an
Yes.
honor. So do we
Yes.
think this is why Travis like bit into his heart.
Well,
Yes.
it bothered me because usually in those movies, and Katie did not believe me, but thank you. There is one movie what the hunters do it as like a thank you to the animal.
A thank you to the animal,
And
right?
it's the hunter, it's the one who kills. So
I
it
just don't think
annoyed
I've
me
seen
that they
it.
gave it to Travis because I feel like they should have given it to Natalie to eat. But
Well, either way, gross. Why didn't they just
either way,
throw that on the fire first? But so we can agree that all of that meat is not what came off of Javi. There's more in the meat shed.
Yeah.
Oh
yeah,
no.
oh yeah, that was just a little bit. Yeah,
That
they're
was
gonna
just the appetizer.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah, the one on the platter. Yeah, there's
Yeah.
got to be
Yeah.
more. I
Main
would
course
hope
is
so.
on its way.
And you saw how they showed that leg bone cut exactly, which is the picture that they later show Jeff to say who could do something like this. And it's and it's Shauna, and then the covering of the eyes when she's so much eye covering,
Question: do you think that this is the last that we're going to hear of the Adam Martin storyline, or do you think that there is more to him?
More to him.
I think there's more to him. And I just think it's curious that we all assume that Shauna's baby is the only baby that's going to come out of the wilderness, because like Travis and Natalie were hooking up. I mean, obviously, that nothing happened there, but people are going to be hooking up a little
No, but
bit.
we don't know that because a lot of people thought Lisa from the
Could have been
compound
Nat's.
was Natalie's daughter with
Maybe.
Travis.
Maybe. Like Amanda,
And
my
there is a
co-host, was
second
saying, well,
baby.
the women wouldn't be menstruating, but they would be once they were eating, I think.
I think so.
that is
Yeah.
true.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Plus if it's supernatural, they can knock up anybody. Also in the Bible.
Is this wilderness porn now? Is that
It's
like dragon
wilderness,
porn?
biblical
Okay.
Virgin
Mhm.
Mary getting knocked up. Do you
New-
think it made
Wow.
sense that Natalie became the antler queen, the first antler queen, or de
Yeah.
facto? Because Lottie was really the first, but
Made sense in what way though? Like,
well,
I mean,
it bothered me her reaction to it. It didn't feel like because she had just been so anti that stuff, and then
That's how it happens, though. Like, that's how it happened in Godfather, right? Like, Michael thought, I'm the good kid.
Oh.
Like, I'm the good one that's never going to get caught up in this. And
Well,
Natalie
that's
is the
totally
good
true.
one.
I
but
think
then
that
you're
makes
safe.
sense.
You're
Mhm.
safe.
Mhm.
I think that makes sense because she felt so guilty about Javi too, that if
Mhm.
she embraces the wilderness, then it's that other layer of separation. It wasn't me that killed Javi, it was the
Right.
wilderness that chose, and then I don't have to feel as guilty anymore.
Right.
Yes.
Exactly.
That makes sense.
Yeah.
But it's like any game show, reality show, marked safe. Now I'm safe for another week. They
Right.
can't vote
You
me off
have
the
the
island.
immunity
Yeah.
idol.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Immunity idol. Right.
Yeah.
Right.
So do you think they're gonna live in Katie, I think nailed it last week where they're gonna live now or what they're gonna do now. Do you
The
have
I think they're
plane?
going
Did
to
you
the
say the
plane.
plane?
Is that what I
Yeah,
said?
that's
Yeah, I
what
think
I
the
think.
Yeah, the
Yeah.
plane.
Do
I
you
mean,
think
they
they're
can
gonna
all live in the shed? I mean,
the meat shed? Yeah. It
Mhm.
doesn't seem very
That'd be
insulated.
tight quarters.
Yeah. It
it'd
seems
be
like
tight.
do you think they're gonna go after Ben right away? Will they be able to find the hole in the tree?
Well, I had a question. Do you think that they think that Ben started the fire?
I
Yeah,
think
we'll see.
I think they are because who else would it be unless they think they pissed off the wilderness somehow, like they made Natalie the queen and that was the wrong decision and now
Mm.
the wilderness burned down their cabin. Who else could it be? They don't know Crystal is her
Right.
body's missing or she might be alive.
Right.
But this is why I'm saying that Ben might actually split the camps, because it could be down to Natalie will say Ben would never do this. This wasn't Ben. And maybe Shauna takes a camp and says he absolutely did this. We're going to get him. And the camps start to split. And we already know that Shauna's having some like internal emotions about not being chosen by the wilderness to be the leader.
Mhm.
So maybe this issue of who set the fire starts to split them. I don't know.
That's a good point.
It could be. But I mean, I'm just surprised that Coach Ben is still here, to be honest. I don't know what they're doing with him. I can't figure out like where his story is going.
I mean, he's definitely a foil for these teenage girls, right? Obviously, like, but is he
Mhm.
the conscience of them? I don't know what he is. Like, I
He's
just think
such a
he should be ashamed of himself because he's the only adult and he's not
Thank
doing anything
you.
to help these girls.
There's one
but-
of our listeners
anything.
so sweet and keeps every week. She's like, I think you guys are still too hard on Ben. He's a closeted gay man in the 90s and dealing with the trauma of his leg. I'm like, I don't care. He is the
Of course. But all that aside,
It's
That
so
has nothing
true,
to
and
do
I rooted
with-
for him at the beginning.
yeah.
I loved him at the beginning because of all those things, and then
Mhm.
he just failed to me as an adult, like the only adult.
like
You've
if
done
he's
nothing
obviously
helpful.
delusional too, right? Because with the phone calls
He
and he's in
is.
the
Yeah,
cabin, he's
and
at his
starving
boyfriend's
because
apartment,
he didn't eat
he's
Jackie.
starving. Yeah.
He didn't eat Jackie, so has not eaten since a bird, maybe.
But if
I
you
don't know
can't get
how
in
he's
there and
alive.
deliver that baby, then fine, I get that. Then you take charge and you're directing other people and you're pep
Yeah.
talking and you're getting supplies and you're doing this.
Right.
Like you're a coach, dude.
He's
Yeah.
I just pushed the video in. I don't know how, like, they know, they're teenagers. You think they know how to deliver a baby, but they're making it work.
That's such a
Girl
90s
power.
thing that the coach taught health
Mhm.
class, right?
Yeah. It
Yeah.
was that.
And
Maybe it's
and
just to show girls are way
he's a
more
frustrating character.
tough.
He
than
just never gets
boys.
in there. He just
Yeah,
never. He just does everything.
Mm-hmm.
So it's surprising that then all of a sudden, not only is he still with us, he's not like the next to die, which I think everybody thought that he was going to be next, probably.
They let
I
us.
was,
He's the
I was
one.
hoping he was gonna right off that cliff.
I mean, he
for sure.
asked one of the kids to push him off a cliff.
Sure did.
Let's give them more trauma.
Let's
That's a
traumatize them
great role
more.
model.
That's a
But
dark
then
place.
he's the one to find the special hidden cave,
Yeah,
the
right.
tunnels or whatever
Yeah.
it is. Where
So
it
now he
seems
has
like
this new, when he saw those drawings of Javi's, he got some sort of new energy because there was like an alternative way that wasn't becoming a cannibal or like a
But
mystery
he was
to
trying to
solve.
do that map. He was trying
Yeah,
to make the
he-
map, you know.
I loved
Yeah.
the map. We never
like the
saw the
map,
map
too.
past episode 2. It's so frustrating. I was like, oh,
Mhm.
here we go. Here we go. When the map
Mhm.
came out, I was like, now we got it.
So
This
At
is
the
gonna
end,
be it.
somebody
he had
said
that spot in the map, and then he went to it, and that's where the tree was,
Yeah.
right? So now
Yes.
we're gonna finish the map.
I
don't
would
know.
love that.
Somebody
Can we
said
please-
that somebody said that in season 1, somebody said in the show that Nat and Ben were responsible for saving them. Do we know this?
They say Nat.
Getting them rescued?
In
They
the
didn't say
Nat,
Ben?
season,
Okay.
They did not
Kai
say
says
Ben, but
to
I have
Shonda.
to check on Ben. But I know they said Nat.
Okay.
Yeah, they
I
say it
gotta
in the
start- I gotta
car
start
when
over.
they're.
I
Because
have to
I'm
start
wondering
over.
if his renewed thing is like, I'm going to get us out of here. Like, this is how I'm going to do it.
I think it's more likely that the fire draws rescue teams and he tells them, I'm the only one out here. Everybody else died.
Well, you
Oh,
do,
yeah.
to get rid of a nest of yellow jackets, you do burn them.
Thank
So,
you.
There's that.
Thank you.
What?
So
That's fascinating.
before we go, does
fascinating.
anyone
I
want
love
to
that.
answer this question on the screen? Can you see it?
I know
When the
nothing
weather
about
is warm.
wildlife.
When the weather is warm, they'll be able to hunt animals. So will things go back to normal, or do they have the bloodlust now? Have they run out of bullets?
Never-
I
No,
mean,
they take the bullets.
Never underestimate a teenage girl's opportunity to become ritualistic about things.
That's a
Like
good
we were
point.
doing it in Scranton, Pennsylvania. We had like the Ouija board out on the gravestones and we were lighting candles. Like this is just what teenage girls do. And I think that it's going to continue even when they can hunt because they're not very good hunters.
And I
That's
think
true.
our biggest.
They've really only caught that bear who was doing bear yoga, and the white moose drowned, and they caught a deer. Like Natalie caught. Oh no, that deer had worms in it.
Yeah.
So they haven't done that great with hunting. That's a
Mm-mm.
good point.
And hunting
Well, but
is
I think they're about
difficult.
to get good because now the pit girl falls in a pit that definitely wasn't put there in the wintertime.
Right.
So they're trying
Yeah.
to catch animals by accident. Or
Trapping
the
Yeah,
animals
like
falling
trapping
into
them.
a
yeah,
pit.
what I'm saying, did they build the pit hoping an animal would fall in,
Yes.
not a friend?
That's
Yes.
my
Hmm.
assumption, but I could be totally I could be totally wrong. But my
Right.
assumption is they build those in the spring. I'm now beginning to think that spring's never coming and that we're just going to be in a constant winter.
Okay,
Winter
but
is
mean,
coming.
I have a
Again,
question about the
Lost.
fire.
Yeah.
Okay,
On
so the
Lost,
fire.
time was different there.
Oh, okay.
You're right.
Trying
What's
to
your
talk
fire
for you
question,
about
Mary Payne?
Lost. So the fire. So they build the fire, and that was my thought too. Was about this is what's going to draw somebody to see them as this fire.
Why they haven't done this already is like the thing that makes me the most insane of like why we haven't been like, okay, we need to do a big SOS on an open field. We need to
Yeah.
start setting fires far away. I mean, they're not trying to get rescued.
And
it seems
these
like
are
at
kids
all.
who've grown up on Gilligan's Island. Like they know how not to get rescued. So like
Right.
they should know by watching 80 shows that you do the SOS on the
Mhm.
clear
Yeah.
space. I mean, come on.
Yeah. I don't understand. They've done nothing to like
done
be like,
nothing.
we need to try to get someone's attention that we're here. That's never even discussed. Do they
This
even
is
talk about
this is
it?
where the coach can come in and be like,
Yes.
okay, as the adult, here's the plan.
Here's our plan. Not
Mhm.
somebody, not this poor girl reads a flight manual and tries to get in a old airplane. No, that's we need a firm, like organized plan of how to get
We
noticed
need a
or
project
or
manager
get
out
out or walk
Mhm.
out.
Mhm.
Yeah. So Mary Payne, you're thinking that maybe they get rescued earlier because the fire draws attention? Like
Well, that was my thought, but then you guys are like super firm on this timeline. If it's been exactly this many months and they went in the spring and the winter, and that's why when I'm not taking notes or something, so I'm not paying close enough attention, that's why I look to the experts. That's why I'm asking you guys.
I would hope that the fire would bring some. Maybe we're going to have an almost rescue next season. Maybe we're going to have like they
I won't be
see
able to take
something,
it.
or no one's going to be
Hmm.
able to. Yeah,
But they can't see them because of the birds or the mercury or the lost people or whatever. Something's happening, so they can't get seen.
dragons.
Oh God, that would be
Dragons,
heartbreaking.
Dragons are coming.
They're off having sex with the dragon in a cave.
They're busy.
Mhm.
In
That's
that
what I
big
heard
cave.
happened on.
Takes
That's
8
what I
of
heard
them.
happened on
Those were
Lost.
baby dragon bones.
Yes.
That's it. We nailed it.
Mhm.
Thank you
Thank
so
you
much for coming
so
on. This was
much.
great.
Again, follow
Thanks for
Little
having
Miss
us.
Recap and Pink Shade for amazing recap. What are you recapping now on Little Miss Recap?
Love and Death on
Love and
HBO. The candy.
Oh,
Oh,
yeah,
it's good.
The one about
Yeah.
candy.
Yeah,
It's
yeah.
good.
It's real
It's
good.
good.
And Mary Payne is doing everything just on We and TLC. 90
And Bravo.
Day.
And Bravo.
And Bravo. Yeah.
And Bravo.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
Bravo.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Thank you, ladies, so much. We
Yeah.
adore you both.
Thank
And we'll
you
put your
guys.
details in the
Yes.
notes down below.
Yes.
Okay.
Awesome. Thanks,
Thank
guys.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Bye. Bye. Okay, are you ready for our
That
next
was great.
guest?
Are you ready for a Danny break?
Yes, always.
He was snoring.
Amanda, hang tight. There's a cat cameo happening. She understands.
Do you understand? Does
This is
anyone
our
understand?
white moose, Danny. Do they not look almost exactly the
He's
same?
so sleepy. Danny.
Oh my gosh.
This is
Danny
Danny.
eyebrows.
This is-
I love it.
Come on, buddy. Okay.
Okay,
You
so
sit with
we
them.
are we ready? The
I'm ready.
cute boy. Okay, we are ready
He's a good
for
boy.
Amanda from We Love to Hate
Hello.
Everything. Thank you so much. You have to follow We Love to Hate Everything for everything. Really, they just talk about everything they hate. Sister Wives especially, but also a million other shows. What are you talking about right now?
Yeah.
Sister Wives, mostly always.
Well, they read the book. They read from the Sister Wives book on YouTube.
I mean, Sister Wives.
And they do the voices, the little accents. You know that like weird like
That
Utah accent?
Yeah, we're into that, and we just got into Vanderpump Rules.
Oh, here we go.
So let me also. And we just recapped the Curious Case of Natalia Grace. Did you guys watch that?
No.
Mind blown. Katie,
You have to watch it.
Where?
Mind
Where is
blown.
that? Sorry, where
it's
is
on
that?
ID.
Oh,
Yes.
Danny, you gotta go.
Or you can buy it on Amazon or something. I don't know. I'm in Canada,
write
so
it
my
down.
streaming is different, but you have to watch
It's
that.
mind
I'm
blowing. Yeah.
writing it down. Okay.
Woo!
really
It's
insane.
a wild ride.
Yeah,
Oh
Kim
my
and
gosh,
Melissa got
okay,
me on
all right,
that,
I'm
and
ex-
like it's insane.
Okay.
And
Listen to
what's
the-
your
listen-
Yellow Jackets journey? You've been
Oh,
watching
yeah.
since the beginning.
So listen to this. Me and Jody just recap, like, again, Sister Wives, where I can walk around the house like mopping and I can look at my phone. And now
Sure.
I was sitting here watching from the beginning, and I'm watching all your guys' comments, and I was like, holy shit, these people like know this show inside and out. And I don't. So let's be easy on me and let me be a more generalized viewing.
This is
I've
why
wa-
it's important to have you,
That's why
because
we
we
need
watch
a
it so
team.
carefully that like I need an objective outside view of like just I watch the show and not the way that I watch it, which is like, oh, I gotta go back.
Right.
Oh no, I gotta
by the way,
slowly
if-
skip through this.
If anyone thinks Katie and I have known everything off the bat, there's like people sending us theories. There's like Reddit stuff. Sometimes
These
she'll see
comments
something and
are
I don't.
insane that I'm watching here. I'm
Mhm.
like, holy shit. I'm like, a fire. I've only missed 2 episodes. I haven't watched the last 2 episodes. I'm like, there's a fire.
You don't even know what happens at the end?
Javi comes back and dies.
Oh my
Okay.
gosh, we can't say
Yep.
anything.
Oh
No, I'm the spoiler girl. I will watch a movie and like wiki it the whole time so that I'm like one beat ahead. Because if I
Forget
see
it.
an animal on TV or on a movie, I'm like,
Yeah.
well, if this cat dies, I'm turning this movie off.
You gotta go
Yeah.
to that website, Does the Dog
Does the
Die?
cat? Well,
Or
obviously,
whatever it's called. You know, there's that
Yes.
website.
It's an app
Yeah.
on my computer, of course.
If the
Yeah.
movie's named after the animal will die.
That's
Like
a good.
Old Yeller. Like the
Generally,
animals.
if I see an
gone.
animal like roll up on the screen, I'm like, okay, we're pausing this for a second.
Yeah.
Anyway, but everyone be nice to me. I'm not as good as all of you
keep
guys
the
with this
spoilers
shit.
out of the chat for just while Amanda's on
You
the
really don't
screen.
have to. I'm gonna watch it immediately after we finish anyway.
And then she's
I
gonna come
would
in the
have-
chat. and be like, oh my God.
Yeah. Then I'm gonna go back and comment.
Who do you like on the show? Like, who's your favorite character?
Okay, well, here's my like like cute little Canadian thought is I'm like, I really like this whole thing with like Elijah Wood and Misty. It's like cute
Yes.
because they're both, I just enjoy watching it because they're both like 90s actors.
Yes.
Yep.
And I
It was
just enjoy
smart
watching
casting.
them together. It was really cute to watch.
Mhm.
That Melanie Linsky, of course. I
Yeah.
don't know if I'm supposed to like her or not, but I'm terrified of her.
One of our friends, a podcaster, Laura Norton, like hates her, like loves Melanie, but hates Shauna, both Shaunas, like violently hates the Shaunas. So I don't think we're
know if we're supposed to like her.
I think they've
Yeah.
made the most likable actress one of the most unlikable characters, and so it's tricky.
Yeah, she gives me like Olivia Colman vibes, but I might just be the
Yes.
accent.
Oh,
Just
love
like
yeah.
you can do anything, and I'll,
Yes.
You can
I'll
do
watch.
anything and I'm probably gonna like you.
Yeah.
I don't understand why they would cast her then if we're not supposed to like Shauna. I think we are supposed to like, well, Shauna's been through it too. I think we're supposed to like her. Like the
Yeah.
reason that stuff's gone wrong.
She's the lead character. Like she's clearly the one we're following. So I think
Yeah.
we're supposed to like her. But this is what I thought I had some really hot takes here, but then all your other guests already said it. But
What's your
just
hot
like-
take?
it's just that it's all unreliable narratives that like I can't trust this show anymore
Yeah.
to sit and watch it. Like anytime a storyline happens, I'm like, well, I can't really, I have to take this with a grain of salt because this might be a vision again.
Yep.
Nugget got me. That little
I don't know
have you
who
been-
Nugget is.
Nugget
Nugget's
is
the
the
rat.
mouse.
Well, now I don't want to
no.
watch it anymore.
Oh no.
I assume the mouse dies or something. I assume.
Yeah. Well, no,
No.
it's always been dead is the problem. And so
Oh.
we're led to believe that this mouse is alive, but the mouse has been dead for quite a while. And so, but it's a
Oh.
very shocking moment because you're like, oh, she's just seeing it as alive, but you don't know that. You don't know that. And so it's just, it is like the most unreliable thing because you
And
think
they're
of
even
one thing and it's
switching
not.
around like props in the background, I think, of scenes to try to show that maybe it happened this way. Maybe it's from this person's perspective. It's totally different. What can you believe? Yeah. We don't know if any of it happened.
This is a problem with what show was I just watching that they're maybe You or something? But
Oh.
this show has way too many plot lines going on. Can you just have like 3 major plot lines that I can focus on? Because this clearly, based on your guys' comments in this live chat, you have to focus on this show.
You do.
Like, and so I need to
But-
go back and really rewatch this.
I
thing.
think what you're saying is important because, like, one of Katie's most frustrating things is why Thais's storyline with her family has just been like dropped. Like,
so
they
it
get
doesn't
us.
come back then.
No, they get us invested.
You don't see it in 8 and 9. You're not going
Done.
to see it. There's no resolution.
They get you invested in something in the first season or first half, and then it's just gone because there are so many plot lines.
Her wife's in a horrible accident. The end. I don't know.
We don't know if she's alive or
we
dead.
don't
And
know.
then that
She's
girl in
Schrodinger's cat.
season 1 that like Misty
Van.
like poisoned.
Oh yeah, Jessica Roberts. Yeah.
Do we
Like,
know what
did
happened
the
with that?
cops ever investigate her death? We don't know.
It comes up a little bit in the last episode, but like really no one's looking for her.
No one seems to care. Yeah.
No, and I feel like characters keep getting introduced like just for like Elijah Wood gets
Right.
introduced
Mhm.
like, oh, it's Elijah Wood, and then he kind of goes away for a little bit, and I'm like, okay,
Yeah.
so
Yes.
And Lisa, who is
And
the
he's going to
girl
come back.
at the compound, and like, is she important
that
enough
she
to
stabs with her hand.
have been- yes,
Yes.
the girl that Natalie stabs. Yes, the girl who
At
has the
least-
goldfish.
Lisa
pet.
plays so much in season 2 that you're led to believe that she is going to be really, really important. And we have yet to find out why she's so important. I have no idea why she's such a major character in season, like why we're wasting so much time on her in season 2.
And then I think it was Amy that said, sorry, I have like at this time of day, the sun's going down. So
it's so moody.
It looks like an effect.
Yeah.
It looks like you're on a plane
I
and
can't
there's,
help
it's very Yellowjackets.
I think it was Amy that said that an interesting theory was that the grown-up Lottie isn't actually Lottie.
Yeah,
And I
that's a
thought
cool theory.
I thought that was a cool theory because, and I had this thought that the casting is so good in this show that, and I've always thought, oh, she doesn't really look like the young Lottie. Like she almost looks like a different ethnicity almost. So I wonder if maybe that's something. Like maybe that isn't her.
That's interesting. So it's something
just
you
does-
noticed right away. Yeah.
I noticed that the casting is so good and everyone looks exactly like each other, but Lottie does not look like her
I
young
agree.
Lottie.
I do think I agree with that.
I like
okay.
that
Didn't
theory.
feel as good to me as the rest of the casting.
I don't know what that means, really.
I don't
but
either. I
but
like
it's
the theory
something.
though. How do you feel about Coach Ben? Do you feel like he's like? Did you have any just thoughts on him as a whole with his wandering
I
around on his
agree that,
crutch?
like, how the hell did he stay alive? He's
Yeah.
the one with the one leg, right?
Yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah. How did he stay alive if he wasn't,
That one bird.
chomping up
He
on
ate
these
like
people?
a bird.
I have
Yeah,
no
no,
idea.
Nobody
It's
knows.
really it's really confusing. Did you, when you started watching season 2, did you watch season 1 as a binge or did you watch it episode by
I
episode as it
binged
came out?
season 1, and then I was supposed to binge season 2 this week, but then I got food poisoning, so that kind of put a wrench in things. But
sorry.
I binged like 7 episodes in the past like 2 days, so I'm pretty.
So overall, like, and bear in mind you haven't seen the last episode or 2. Like overall, do you like season 2? That's been very divisive.
Not really, because I see it as you guys said, like Lost. I watched all of Lost season 1, and I would have been happy watching 7 seasons of them just surviving on an island.
Mhm.
And then season 2, episode 1, there's like this button thing. And I'm like, I kind of just want to watch you guys like survive on an island. It's more interesting to me.
Mm-hmm.
So more of
that's-
just the Lord of the Flies storyline of like what happens when they're left to their
Exactly.
devices in the wilderness. Like, I think that's a lot of people's complaint about season 2 is that there just wasn't enough wilderness time, and people are really invested in that storyline. And so,
yeah.
you
And
wanna
whenever
see
they
it.
get to the adults, I don't really care as much. I care much
Right.
more about just the kids.
I can't tell
Yep.
if it's because I just don't like the characters as much as adults, or like, I mean, I like the actors a lot. Like, I love Juliette Lewis, I love Christina Ricci, and love Melanie Linsky, and I can't remember Thais's name, but she's amazing too. But like, as teens, I'm so much more invested. Like,
It's because
well,
the
of
stakes are
course.
higher for the teens.
right.
That's what Kevin and Rebecca were talking about with stakes, where like it's a terrifying situation. They're teenagers. It's like the storyline is infinitely interesting, right? It's shocking. It's the Donner Party. It's everything that you think about when this situation happens. Survivalism at its wildest. And then in the adult storyline, they sort of tried to mirror that by having Shauna kill that guy. There's like a murder taking place and some other stuff, but it still doesn't quite, no matter how crazy the current timeline gets, it doesn't touch that situation. That situation is just so fascinating, right?
Yeah,
So,
I just don't think that season 2 stuck the landing. Like 13 Reasons Why, if you guys watched that show on Netflix, I felt
Yes,
like
did, yeah.
season was great.
First season was so good.
Season 2, episode 1, I was like, I'm done. Stranger Things as well. There was the
But
show
Stranger
called-
Things, the third season's supposed to be really good of Stranger Things. Right? I haven't
It
seen.
kind
I've
of
only
went-
seen.
I don't know.
really
It's fine.
then.
Well,
Anyways, yeah.
Amanda, one thing we
You're busy.
realized that thanks to somebody sent us, like, was that the showrunners only wrote the first episode of season 2.
Okay, so that's what I wanted to address because I didn't know that until I was just watching you guys talk about that, and that makes so much sense. That
It
like
really
you
was
had
like a
no
light bulb
plan.
moment. It was like it all
Yeah.
comes together. That makes
They
sense.
and then they created all these storylines, and there's no way they can wrap this up.
And then they just walked away and we're like, writers team, go to town.
That's exactly you
Yeah.
nailed it.
Yeah.
So
So very frustrating.
I don't know. And there was a show called Cruel Summer. Do you guys remember that one?
I loved Cruel Summer.
That's coming back for season 2 as well, but I feel like
with a
that's going to be the
different-
same thing.
No, because it's a totally different storyline and different characters.
I did not know that. Okay.
That's smart. When shows do that, it's very smart because it just completely. What else does that?
It resets the scale, kind of. It's like clean
True
slate.
Detective. True Detective does it.
Yeah.
And so it's
And
just
there was a
very
show called
smart.
like An American Crime or something.
Yes,
Yes,
American
also,
Crime
like,
Story.
seasons totally
Yep.
different. Yeah.
Very smart. And because they get a
So-
really good cast in there. And even if it's the same cast playing different characters, you're not
I'm fine
comparing it
with
to the
that.
first.
Yeah.
Because it's different. Right.
Yeah.
And they have this cast of people, and I guess just so Juliette Lewis dies, I guess, based on
Yes.
watching what
Yes. I'm sorry.
Okay.
Yeah.
It's fine.
We're
When
not
does that
sure
happen?
100%, but we're 99.999.
Right, because you can't trust anything
can't
in
trust
this damn
anything.
show. Like
Yeah.
that
Right.
moose running toward the damn thing where she's
Right.
shooting it. I'm like,
Was
oh,
that
so that
real?
was. I mean, I can't
Yeah.
trust anything that's going on in this show.
Yeah.
But it's
Mhm.
well produced. I love all the actors in it, and I want it to be good. Also, they put too much damn time in between season 1 and season 2, so I forget everything that happened
Yeah.
before.
Well,
I
we
watched
did
season
full
2.
rewatches. I did at least one. Did you?
But you can't expect everyone to do that. So
No,
like
you
that's
can't.
my question is how do you mitigate that, I guess? Like what do you
Well, I
It's
was
a lot of
sending
time.
people like YouTube videos. There was like a 2-hour recap of season 1, and I was like, people just commit to at least watching this 2 hours of like recapping season
But
1.
it's still watching a movie, basically.
I know it
still 2
is.
hours.
But
Yeah.
and next
that's right.
season is going to be even longer because of the writer's strike, probably. So it's going to be so much more
Ah.
time. I don't even know what's going to happen.
But I think the bonus episode in between is a great idea how they decided. So did you
Yeah,
hear
did you
that
hear
part?
about that?
I heard it when you guys were talking about it. So it's going to be like Downton Abbey when they had like a Christmas special in the middle of season.
Well, no, it's like a normal. It would be like considered episode 10 of this season, except they're releasing it halfway between, and I'm like, that's kind
No,
of
I'm going to
smart
think of it like the Christmas
because you're
special.
like you're whetting people's appetite, right? That it's sorry, that's a terrible analogy for this show.
Well, it's
but,
at least
like,
reminding you
like,
what the show is about. Because like
Yeah.
when
Right.
you came back for season 4, I was
Mhm.
like, I don't remember.
Don't say anything. I got it. That's my next show. I'm gonna
I haven't
binge
seen
that
3 or 4, so
You should
I'm
also
behind.
watch Barry, by the way.
Everyone's yes, I know you've been saying
I need
that
to
too.
try to get into Barry. I'm
I
not
need
sure
to
what
You
my
will
issue
get
is.
into Barry.
I hope
It's
so
amazing.
because I'm disappointed in myself that I like started to try. I think I wasn't in the mood for that kind of a show when you know what I'm talking about when I started to watch it. So I need to try again.
It's a lot, but it's only 4
crazy.
seasons. I will say,
But I love him.
The part. Oh, I'm in love with him.
Oh, Bill Hader. Okay.
Yeah. Oh,
Good.
I'm obsessed with him.
How do you
I'm
feel
sure he's
about
a terrible
Keith
person
Morrison?
though, because he's a man and all men are terrible. But
Keith
I will
Morrison's
tell you.
not though.
The part that I gasped the most was when, and I don't even know if this actually happened or not, because again, I can't trust anything, but when Misty pushed the girl off the
Yeah,
and I
Crystal.
knew it was going to happen. The second they got to that ledge, I was like,
Yeah.
someone's falling down
She's
that.
going. Mm-hmm.
Oh, so her body is missing. We don't know where it is. She never found the body. So
Oh.
is she really dead? We don't know. There's just so many questions, but it's
So
And
let
is
me
the
ask.
baby dead? Do they actually eat the baby?
no.
Do we
they
don't- you
ate
don't
the
know anything?
baby in like a flashback, but they didn't really eat the baby. The baby is kind of
Okay.
it's buried, but not really. It's like under some rocks because the ground was frozen. So,
Perfect. All right.
So if
Yeah.
you were to say right now, do you think that there is a supernatural element to this show?
Okay, so I believe in supernatural things, but I don't like watching supernatural shows. So I'll be disappointed if it does turn out to be supernatural.
interesting.
I
But if you
want
had
to
to
watch
guess
my
right now.
shows. I think they have to go supernatural.
Yeah.
How else are you going to explain all this shit that you're throwing at us? I don't know.
Yeah.
But I
I
would
think that
prefer
they're
for it to
trying.
be at face value, like there's an explanation for everything. It's going to blow my mind, but I unfortunately think it's supernatural.
I have a weird feeling that it might be one supernatural, not like Lost, where like wasn't Lost. It was like a whole bunch of different things, and
Yeah, there was like
supernatural,
time
and it was
stuff
a
and a
dream,
smoke
yeah,
monster and
and
yeah.
and
Dharma
timelines
Initiative.
converging into okay. So I think it might be like one thing and just one, and then everything else is trauma. I don't know. But if they're going to do it, I feel like it's just like, oh, but the wilderness is an actual entity. But like, I don't know.
True. And I think a lot could be explained just with the fact that they're all so hungry that they're delusional.
Yep.
I would accept
1000%.
that.
Yeah.
Mhm.
That's just my thought. So that's all of my thoughts. I'm going to immediately like binge the rest of this tonight.
Please
Do it.
do. We are so
let us know.
excited to hear. Please message me and let me know what you think. We've ruined everything
I
now,
totally will.
but we'll see if you
Let us know
liked it.
specifically if you think that Natalie really died.
I think
Because now that you know she's gone. So if you think Juliette Lewis
okay.
actually died.
So that's the big like contest jewel.
I
too.
know.
No,
I don't
it's
even think
not.
it's that
I just
contested. I
am
think she
curious
is.
about.
Okay.
Most people, I think she is.
I think she
the
didn't want to
death
be on the
scene is-
show anymore too. I think Juliette Lewis
I
didn't want to
think
be on the show
She
anymore.
like read the script for episode 2 of season 2, and she's
No,
like,
she was
"God,
not
I
happy
gotta
with
leave."
season 1. There's a
Yeah.
clip of them at a like Q&A, and she kind of walks out because she's like super annoyed. So she wasn't happy with her direction.
Well, she
in
seems
season
like kind
1.
of a curmudgeon, to be
She's
fair.
maybe particular.
I think maybe
She's
she's
like,
particular, right? Is that what you
particular. I
said,
don't have to
Kimberly?
do-
Yeah,
yeah,
I
and she
think
doesn't
she's
have
just
to
that
do it
kind
if
of an
she doesn't
actor
want
that
to.
it's like, this wasn't the
Yeah.
script that I thought. Yeah,
She
Yeah.
doesn't play the Hollywood game.
No,
but
she doesn't. That's
anyway.
that's a good way to say it. Yeah.
could
But
be
that's
it.
just my humble thoughts. Thank you everyone for being nice to me. And
Thank you,
Yay,
Amanda.
thank you for
So
coming
everyone,
on.
seriously, highly recommend We Love to Hate Everything. Amanda and Jody. Some of you that are Patreons may have heard Jody on the last couple seasons of Amazing Race that we've been covering, and highly just you guys are so funny. We love you both. So
we
thank
do,
you for
and
joining us.
we do love to hate everything. Everything.
I love that.
Everything.
And it makes us happy.
I know,
So,
me
yeah.
too. It brings me
Thanks
joy
for
to
having me.
co-hate too. It's the
Oh, yeah.
co-hating that I
When
love.
Kimberly
Oh.
told me that it was called We Love to Hate Everything, and I'm like, why aren't you on that show? Because like that's
was.
Kimberly's like that's
my brand.
That's her
Oh,
brand.
being
I was
able
like, she
to
loves to
get
hate
on
everything.
mic and talk shit about Cody Brown for 2 hours every week.
It's a dream.
Yeah.
That's great.
I don't even
That's the
need
dream.
therapy after that. That's good enough.
It's its own therapy. Thank you so
Yeah.
much. Seriously.
Thank you so much. Mwah.
Love you guys.
Thank
Bye.
you. Bye. That was so fun. We have a couple more guests.
Let's go.
No?
I said, let's go. Sorry.
Oh, I
I've
thought you
got-
said no. And I was
Danny,
like, God,
Danny is
Sarah's watching this.
simultaneously,
She's-
he's snoring so loud that I'm surprised you can't hear it. And
I
now
can't
it's
hear it.
full bath mode. It's real cute. It's real cute. He's a cute cat.
Danny is our podcast
He's the mascot for the show.
for this show. Yeah, for
Just
sure.
for this show.
Sarah, are you ready? Smile, like wave or something. Perfect.
Oh, Sarah.
Yay! This is
She's
Sarah
ready.
Carody from
Good
Crime
morning,
Scene.
everybody.
She is joining us from
Beautiful Gadigal land here in Sydney, Australia. It's
Love it.
Monday morning.
International
Monday
guest.
Sort of
morning.
awake.
An
Sort of awake.
international guest.
Is it so early for you? What time is it?
No, it's 10:30 a.m.
Oh, great. Okay, good.
Perfect?
But I haven't spoken yet, so you're getting my. I didn't do my voice warm up.
I love that.
Yeah.
I know that voice. Yeah.
Sarah hosts the podcast, co-hosts a podcast with Mari called Crime Scene on
Yes.
Rob Has a Podcast Network. And they were nice enough to have us on recently talking about an ID show. And we, of course, spent half the time talking about Yellowjackets. So
Yes, of course.
It's important.
what are
so
your feelings?
Natalia Grace, that's going to be our episode next week. Yeah.
Katie just heard about it, and
Yeah,
I'm
I'm
embarrassed
dying.
I hadn't told her about it sooner because it's
Oh,
been
yeah.
blowing my mind. I
Wild.
was down with like an ear
Wild.
infection this whole week, and all I did was watch that show and just
I
tried
thought
to
you were saying like I was down with an ear infection, but
I
you were
was
down
down
with
No,
it.
she
with
was
an
not
ear
down with it.
infection.
It was definitely not that kind of down.
Yes.
She was down
yes.
for the count.
Katie,
with an ear
you're gonna watch it next and tell us what you think. Natalia
Yeah,
Grace.
of course. I mean,
Yeah.
How did I miss it? Sorry. On just ID? Are you watching it on Hulu?
It's like
Where are you watching?
it's like trending on Twitter, and ID shows never trend on Twitter.
Yeah.
So
Oh, I've never been to. I don't.
That's wild.
I don't
yeah,
do
she's
Twitter.
not on Twitter.
Darn
It's
it.
fine.
Okay.
And it's my responsibility to have told you, so I should have. It's my
It's
fault.
absolutely not. I need to
Yeah.
keep up on things. I'm also just like sort of in holding mode because I'm waiting for some things to drop. Like, so it's just.
Certain
but I need
shows.
shows. Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, Black
Oh,
Mirror's in 2
That,
weeks.
and tomorrow you get your true. Oh no, it's not my tomorrow. Your next day, True Crime Tuesday. We're dropping our episode on the Secrets of Hillsong with Mark Blankenship. So that's-
Yes, I'm only through the
that's
first
someone.
episode and a half
Aw.
on that. on Hulu. I'm close.
Oh.
That's I don't know why I didn't.
Is
Blue
Hillsong
Lady, thank
gonna
you so
disturb
much.
me as much as the Sarah Lawrence one that
No.
you both talked
No,
about?
not at
No,
all.
no,
No.
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 Okay.
No.
No.
We spend a lot of the podcast going, were you surprised? Like, not all religion, but somehow always religion.
Yeah,
You know?
It
the
is.
really culty religions.
Well,
Yeah.
when religion and
religions but all
Supreme, the
religions are
brand
cults.
Supreme combined, you're in
Yeah.
trouble.
Yeah,
Like you
when-
all
can't.
religions are
Yeah.
cults,
It's really
including
troubling.
the one that the Yellowjackets girls belong to. I have some thoughts. I don't know if you want to.
Please.
Oh, thank you, Chloe. Love and death. We held on my podcast partner, Latonya Starks, and I kind of held on for 5 episodes going, well, these are all the good things about it. And then episode 6, I had people messaging me and saying, oh, has David E. Kelly sent you a personal apology yet? Oh, it's not good.
For Love and
It's not
Death.
good. Yeah.
How
Really?
did that come out so close to Candy? This is another conversation for later.
Well,
but I'm just
this is what we
wondering.
talked about a lot because Candy 11 months ago was really good. I don't
Was
know why you
really
don't
good.
pull a plug.
Yeah.
I don't know why you don't pull a plug. Yeah. Can
Too
I
much
say
money.
some things that I've
Yes.
got written down?
Yes,
What do you
please.
have?
Or do you
I
wanna
know that
ask
you're
me
a big fan
questions?
of the show, right?
I'm a big fan of the show, and I'm going to be controversial and say I really liked season 2. Yes, every single thing that Rebecca and Kevin said was true, as is
Mhm.
everything they always say.
Yeah.
But I think that there's an element where you just say, I hand myself over to you, show. I will watch you. You will show me your episodes, and I will watch you. And you can just say, let's do it. Let's accept it.
Yes.
Yeah.
And while I've loved your, my Monday mornings are always listening to you on the YouTubes, talking about it, and people deep diving and looking at things. I love all of that, but that's not my experience of watching this show because I watch so many shows that I have to take notes on and have an opinion about. I have to find
Yeah, you just want
bloody
to
opinion.
be entertained.
Exactly. And it helps that I like the cast very much. So yeah, I mean, I can critique it, but I don't think I'm going to. So if
I
anyone in
didn't
the
really
chat,
until our very last live stream, the finale. I had been
Yes.
saving all those feelings all
yes.
season.
We did
most
try to be very positive.
Yeah, and then I was like,
It's not a critique. No, it's absolutely not a critique of
No, I
anyone's
appreciate
No, no.
exactly
Yeah,
what you're
Yeah.
totally what you're saying.
because
and
I like
honestly,
to watch as a viewer. And Katie knows too. Sometimes she'll say, "Did you figure out this?" And some shows that we don't cover, I don't want to figure it out. So I
Yes.
put like a blocker on my brain because I don't want to figure out who the murderer is. I want to be tricked and surprised.
I'm so with you.
Yeah.
with
It's
all
like-
that being said, have you figured
Yes.
anything out, Sarah?
Well, I've got a couple of things. I think the idea of is it supernatural or is it not is really interesting. I hope it's not. I love
Mhm.
that it's us. I love that
Mhm.
we are so elemental and we are so feral and we are animals. And I love saying, well, what happens to us when that veneer is stripped off? What do
Mhm.
we create? What do we carry? How do we
Mhm.
relate to each other? So I love that if it's not, put it this way, I hope it's not supernatural.
Yeah.
Even though I love supernatural things
Mhm.
and stories and shows. If it is supernatural, I hope they all died either in the plane or in the fire, because I think
Mhm.
that becomes fascinating. Like, what's the projection forward to current day, and is current day even happening?
Right.
And there's an idea why I loved Nat being on the plane. I didn't like her being on the wrong plane, and I didn't like Travis not being there. And I would have
Mhm.
loved young Travis to kiss Juliette Lewis. I think that would have been a beautiful kind of circle
That's a
moment.
really nice thing. It would have been really nice. Why do you think those two things didn't happen? I mean, why do you think both of those things are missing in that? Like
Oh,
that she's
I
on the
think
wrong plane and
That a
she's
she's
on
show
the
not
about
there.
plane.
cannibalism would be like, well, we can't have an adult woman kissing a teenage boy.
I don't. Why
That-
not? But what
Because that's
what I
against-
like about the idea of her being on a plane as she dies, it made me think of if anyone is an endurance person, if you do marathons or if you do like 14-hour walks. So the first time I did the longest thing I ever did was a walk through the night to raise money for the Fred Hollows Foundation, and it took us 14 hours. A team of 4. It was fantastic, and we finished and we cried and all of that. And I had this idea afterwards, like we were still there. I think partly because it was through the night and through the Australian bush, and each of us separately had a bit of a dark night of the soul during it because you're just thinking. And I love that idea of, and I still sort of, if I just give myself a moment, I can still think we're still there. We're still walking through the night. So I love Nat being on the plane. It's like they get rescued, they come, they have their lives, but part of them is still on the plane, or part of them is still in the woods, part of them still in the cabin.
Mm-hmm.
So not supernaturally, but just
Emotionally.
emotionally and imaginatively for ourselves as humans. So I like the idea of the dead birds, like things that appear to be supernatural, like the dead birds. There was a bird fall, yellow-headed blackbirds fell out of the sky dead in Mexico in February of last year. And there were various theories as to why, but one of them was that a predator was chasing them, and the swarm folds in on itself, and the ones at the bottom hit buildings and die.
Oh, that's interesting.
Or so is it a predator, or is it gas, or is it 5G? Have we interrupted their habitat? Yes, we have. So so it's sort of slightly has the arrival of these young women interrupted the habitat? I don't know. So I love
that's interesting. That's yeah.
yeah.
I like that.
So
That's sorry,
I
you also
like
just gave
the
me a
dead
huge
birds.
idea.
Oh, tell
I
me.
think I don't know why it didn't occur to me. The plane that Natalie's on, the plane that she's what happened?
She doesn't value
I'll be
herself
right.
enough for an RC.
The plane is the plane they get rescued on. That's why we
Yes.
don't know the plane.
Yes,
It's the
that's
plane that they're
my feeling.
rescued on. I did
Yes.
not. I was like,
That makes sense.
what plane
Yeah.
is this? Thank you.
Yeah.
All right. Don't know.
Yeah,
what
that
about
makes sense.
Sorry, I'm just raving now because I kept writing down notes and thinking about things because, I haven't been taking notes.
That's what
I
we
had a-
love about the show is
Well, I hadn't thought
you're
about
staying up at night just going, what about this?
I want to when the cabin's burning and Van, who is my favorite character, Van is bashing and kicking the door.
Yeah.
As the door starts to splinter, you can see the plank that was nailed across it from the outside.
Yeah.
So it is not a supernatural event. It is
Right.
because if it was supernatural, the door would just be closed and you wouldn't be able to open it magically.
Mm-hmm.
Then after we look at the girls looking at the fire and the camera goes up and you see that huge, far too much smoke, but
Yeah.
I'll give them that. And the idea of, are they going to be rescued? We know that they're not. So what does that mean? And then your idea that Coach Ben got rescued and said, there's nobody else. Where's this in that case, season 3, give me the middle timeline when they've returned. Give me
Katie's
Coach
been
Ben,
dying for that middle timeline.
Coach Ben being, being unmasked as the man who left all the girls in the wilderness. I think that could be amazing.
Mm-hmm. I would be so down for that, and that would almost save season 2 because I had problems with season 2. But I would love that.
Well, they're making him. They make him useless on purpose. They sort of set him up as that's his main character trait, is that he's sort of not doing anything to sort of participate or help or stop things that are
Be an
wrong or
adult.
make things better.
Be an
Yeah,
adult,
he's
yeah.
sort of just not. And so, but then at the same time, absolutely not participating in the stuff that is, I'm going to say, quote, horrible, which would be
Yes.
the things that they're forced to do because they're starving. And so, but he's not participating in any of that. So it's also like this weird sort of judgy. It's weird. He's
Very
a weird
judgy.
character.
He's pitiless. But the thing is, he didn't die in the crash. He didn't die when his leg got cut off. He hasn't died. So
he's a reason.
What is he in season 3? What is he?
So really interesting to actually set him up as a huge villain. What that would do is give him a huge villain arc if he is rescued and says, it was just me, no one else made it. That's it. And then that would be shocking. And they were there for a whole other winter.
Right.
Yes.
Because he
so there he is in the town, people feeling sorry for him because he's only got one leg. Oh my God, what you must have suffered.
Mm-hmm.
What an amazing man. I tried to keep them alive, but
A
one by
hero.
one they died.
Yeah.
What a hero. One of them fell into the ice. One of them got
I'm
eaten
not
by
going
a
to say which
bear.
show, but one of the shows we've talked about a couple times tonight has a very similar plot line to that.
I would love it.
Someone does have a comment, Andy does, about Van, because Van was one of my favorites as well until there seemed to be this sort of, she was like really anti-Lottie when they were driving to the cult, and then they got there and all of a sudden she wants to do the ritual and she's, trying to get the hunt going, and that seemed strange. And then in the wilderness too, she was very kind and sort of sympathetic, and now she's just maybe a survivor. She tells Travis, you should you should eat your brother because, don't you owe him that much, and I don't feel guilty. We're about survival. So you still love her character despite her shifts.
Yes, and I think having cancer concentrates the mind somewhat.
Yeah.
And I think, I love that she survived death so many times. There's something very special about her. The fact that she didn't appear in the adult world till really late in the 2 seasons that we've had. I love that actress as well.
Oh yeah, she's amazing.
And she's a redhead, so why wouldn't I? We need more anesthetic, and we feel pain more than you do. But
I've heard that.
Is that true?
I have
That's a
heard
true.
that. Yeah.
It's true. It's true.
Oh,
But I think that no one is purely good and no one is purely evil, even Misty,
Mm-hmm.
because there's a drive in her that she would describe as loyalty.
Yes.
It's actually
Yes.
horrifying codependence,
Mm-hmm.
but her impulse is to protect and look after people.
Mhm.
What she does with that impulse is twisted.
Yes.
So, except Pornstash Cop, he's purely
He
evil.
might be pure evil. Yeah.
Yeah.
So
Something along those
Oh,
lines.
Mary Payne is really into one of the comments. She's saying, yes, that is true. Totally true. I don't know
Mary
which
Payne.
comment, but she's
I love
excited
Mary
about
Payne.
that.
Yeah. Now, also the other thing I just wanted to bring up is the idea that the showrunners wrote the first episode. I mean, you're both more Hollywood savvy than I am, but I'm in the industry to some extent, and I know people. They wouldn't have just written the first episode and gone.
No, they would
They
have
would
had
have
an arc laid out,
Yeah.
but it was
So we're saying that they didn't write into the beats well enough.
the intricacies,
Yes.
the dialogue,
Yes.
the way things got wrapped up in or just dropped very quickly.
Yes.
That can be partially their fault because they had, I'm sure, storyboards and
Yeah.
arcs laid out, but it didn't feel like it's like if Joss Whedon wrote a first season and then brought in, I know he's horrible, but like Buffy, like,
Buffy,
the
come
way
on.
it sounds very specific, and then it was written by
Yes.
someone else. And
Yes.
it was like,
So I think particularly the scene that I missed the most, having said I wasn't going to critique it, but if I could have one scene that wasn't there, it would be the coming up with the idea of we have to eat someone. How are we going to choose?
that was a huge
Lottie
jump.
calling on the wilderness.
We
How
felt
do
like
we-
we missed a scene. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
I think we did on purpose. I think that scene
we
is
did on
coming.
I will say, I
Okay.
agree with
All
that,
right.
Katie.
If they give it to me in season 3, then
I
all
think
is
they're going to give
all
a
is forgiven.
flashback where they're telling us how that decision was reached, and it might also be setting someone else up for a reason. Like it could be that it was Van's idea. It could be that it was somebody surprising that had this idea
Interesting.
to do this. So I don't
That's
know, but
interesting.
I feel like it's such a shocking thing to be lacking that it makes me feel like they
I
must
think
have
they
a
want you to
reason.
imagine how it would go if you could do it. I
And-
think
and
they
that's
want it, and no
fine.
matter how they wrote it, it would have felt too sudden. Like,
Yeah.
because how do people go to that extreme that fast? So it would have felt, so they were like, maybe we're just not going to do it. But I hope it's that it comes back later. Yeah.
I mean, I don't mind. The thing about Van and the Queen of Hearts is the Queen of Hearts is the Red Queen,
Yeah.
and Van is the Red Queen. So I like the idea that it was Van's idea. I don't mind being asked to just accept that. Like, for example, I don't care how Ben's still alive because he hasn't eaten. Like if you,
Oh,
the
just
show,
yeah.
tell me that Ben's alive, then he's alive.
Then
Great,
he's
it's fine.
alive. Right. He's
Yeah.
finding food somewhere. Yeah. Mhm.
Yeah. And you know, where the children who's got Sammy, it doesn't matter. Somebody has. If it was important that he was wandering the streets alone, the show would have told me. So that's what I mean about kind of giving myself over to the show.
Right.
But I wanted to ask
You and I are on the same team. Katie and my dad are on the other team.
Okay.
I appreciate your team.
Can I ask you about Pit Girl?
Yeah.
Is that scene real?
Yeah, it's a really good point because there's been a lot of things, and I'm unfortunately one of those people that watches trailers for the next week and promos. So when the season 2 episode promos, there were 3 of them dropped. I really watched them over and over, sort of through the whole season, trying to look for things that were coming. And a lot of the most shocking things, almost I would say 80% of the most shocking footage in like a trailer or a preview were always a hallucination. Always. Which makes me think
Yes.
possibly.
All the producers or showrunners have said is that it's in the 90s timeline, but they
of course
said
it is.
they said they didn't eat the baby, and then they got around it by having it be a vision or a dream when they ate the baby. So they are very careful with their words. So
I thought they were eating the placenta, I have to say, not the baby.
Oh, yeah, there you
Lots
go.
of good minerals and
they should have. I hope
protein in
they
it.
ate the placenta.
I hope they ate the placenta. Terrible waste.
Yeah,
of
that was
vitamin.
everybody's
That
sort
would
of
be such a
opinion
waste
was,
to not
yeah,
eat the placenta.
they're starving.
I'm thinking not even a vision. Like, is Pit Girl, the chase, like all the things that set us off into loving the show, you know, when we first saw it. Is it emblematic of the show? Is it the thing that they implanted in us? And are we the Pit Girl? Are we the chasers? Are we?
Oh, that's really
we all of them?
smart. Yeah.
Because
yeah.
I mean, they do kill people, and they made us interested in the necklace. They do kill people, but I just wonder if it's I don't know how to describe it except emblematic, and the thing that hooked us in and made us watch it, you know.
And because there's no reliable narrators, and even the show is not a reliable narrator, like the showrunners are not reliable narrators, they can really get away with doing that.
Frodo's a reliable narrator.
What do you think about Walter?
Well,
is he good, or like, I mean, is there something hidden that
he's neutral? I think
does he really love Misty?
In as much as he can love anything.
Because he's a sociopath?
Yes, he recognizes her. He knows he's a sociopath. She doesn't know she's one. So the problem in their relationship is that he sees her as he sees himself, but she's frightened by his reflection of her because she doesn't accept, as I said before, she feels her impulses are altruistic when in fact they're not.
She gets very upset when people say that
really upset. It's the thing that upsets her the most is she's sort of
both those actresses are absolutely superb. Absolutely superb. And they transcend any kind of clunkiness in the writing.
Yeah.
So I think that Walter is I liked that there was a freshness. Oh, phew, another character. You know, another character. That isn't the women. What if they're slowly going to no, stop, Daniel.
Just
on Arrested Development, they would always next time on, and it was just a joke.
And it was
like,
just never things
happened.
that never happened. Like it was a fake out every time. That was great.
It was wonderful on that show.
Yeah.
So I mean, what if he is one of the only, or the only person who is as he seems? I mean, for me, the big scene was he had the table. He had 3 jigsaws. He had all the pieces of all 3 jigsaws mixed together, and he had a place on the table for each of the separate jigsaws, and he was starting from the middle and working out. This is this man.
Yeah.
Right?
So then there is a nugget for that I saw.
Nuggets dead.
I know,
no, sorry. There is a Easter egg.
The 2 things I called
were
Nuggets dead.
You
and
did?
the cheese grater. Like lots of people.
Yeah, you called
the
you
chat,
for sure
but
called the cheese grater.
Cheese grater.
Wow, I did not call Nugget at all. How did you see that coming? What was it
Because it was
about
a
it?
domestic mouse and because it let her pick it up.
Oh, of course, because no, it would
It's
never
just
let you
that
do that.
was sitting on the
Right.
shelf and she went, "Oh, hello," and she picked it up.
Yeah, you're right. This isn't a cartoon. Why would she be able to do that? Like, why? But like, yeah, why would she be able
Are
to?
you going
In
outside
what
with your
world?
finger going and little
Yeah,
bluebirds
and then
come in?
Yeah.
the blue jay comes. No, yeah,
Yeah.
okay.
Yeah, I'm sorry. You were saying something, Katie.
No, just that there was I saw it, I did not find this. Someone else found it, but I thought it was so clever. Earlier in the season, it must be in 2 or 3, whenever Callie's sort of doing her I'm gonna go day drinking with my fake ID at the bar. She's with her friend, and her friend says something. The quote is, "No serial killers do puzzles." And they drop it earlier in the season, and then you have him doing
Oh.
multiple puzzles, listening to Sweeney Todd, and I was like,
Yes. Attend the
"Okay."
tale of
But
Sweeney
why is it not
Todd.
the Angela Lansbury version when he has
Yeah,
a file
I
on
would
his computer that
well, they
says
might
Angela
maybe they
Lansbury?
mind you, they had money for other music. Yes,
Yeah,
I was annoyed about that too because
it
it
could
didn't
have been
make
just a budgetary.
it should have been her whether he had a file on her or not. So
Correct.
here is the serial killer that doesn't kill anybody
He just cleans up for people
until
he
he
loves.
killed,
Until
Well,
he
he killed
poisons.
Kevin. Yeah,
Well, he did
Yeah.
that with no problem.
no
He
problem.
did that with no
was
problem. So you think he's
But again, that
he
was so
selective?
clunky. Why wasn't he looking for Kevin? Was he just hoping Kevin would walk into the kitchen?
Well, the
I
smell of the
don't
hot
know.
chocolate was going to
Maybe.
like a cartoon. The
There you
And I
smell
go.
said I
was
don't
going
get
to
too
go.
wrapped up in the details, but for some
Yeah.
reason it was too much for me.
And I had another thought too that maybe he was not killed by the drug, but drugged by the drug. I mean, he says to Jeff,
Yeah.
"Help me move this body." But excuse me, but it could have gone into the boot drugged. So when we say, "Oh, aren't they going to do an autopsy if the cause of death was not," that would mean that it would bleed. I think we had a discussion about this.
But it would
Mhm.
still be we did. Yeah, for
Yeah,
sure.
so that it would bleed correctly when
Yeah.
shot.
Mhm.
Oh, that's very interesting. That sorta didn't occur to me. It was about the blood. I don't know why
No,
I
we
didn't
talked about
catch
that
that
last
part.
week. How
Why they
No,
wouldn't
it caught that I was sort of just going off of that they would do a tox screen, but they're not gonna do a tox screen if you shot, but the blood
if he's
makes
shot
sense.
and the
Okay.
blood's correct. Yes,
Yeah,
Mhm.
the
yes.
blood's
And
correct.
also,
Does that mean
you
that
know,
Natalie also isn't dead?
well, let's leave aside real world stuff that we know about Juliette Lewis, one of my spirit animals from when I
Okay.
was a teenager. If it was just in show, I would say that she is dead because we see her in her death vision on the
Mhm.
plane.
Okay. Do we know anything about Juliette Lewis?
I mean, somebody had to die this season.
Yeah. I was
Narratively.
surprised it was
Somebody
her
had. I was
until the
surprised.
end of the season. Like,
Should have been
I
Callie.
only sort of
Should have been Callie. No, it had to be one of the girls. And I
Yeah.
did love that she was the first selected by the Red Queen,
Yes. Yes.
and then she dies.
Well,
That's
yeah, have
the
you heard us
and
talking
she's
about the
been
Final Destination? Like,
Yes, I haven't
are they
seen it, but I'm
skipping,
familiar with the
saving
yeah.
people, jumping the line?
Yes. There's an Arabic fable about that where a man is told, how the person knows, I don't know, "Oh, death's coming to get you on Tuesday." So he leaves his house and goes to a completely different city, and then he meets Death and says, "Death, what are you doing here?" He says, "I'm meeting you." It was to be, as it were.
Uh-huh.
You can't escape.
Mhm.
We all die. So, spoiler. We
Well,
all
yeah,
die.
I know.
How
And then
dare
they
you.
do, and then they play a song, I mean, that says fate about 9 times in it. So there you go.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They sort of give it to
Yeah.
us a little
Yeah.
bit.
And I don't believe in fate, but I do believe that we bring things to ourselves. And the thing about being an addict, particularly a drug addict, is that skirting and flirting with death. And, we know that she and Travis had addiction
Yeah.
disorders, sadly.
Mhm.
And I love that. And then I love that she didn't die by her own hand.
Yeah.
Even she had almost tried the season before, but then she had this whole
Yeah.
arc, the cult,
Yeah.
the
I-
finding forgiveness.
Speaking of the cult and speaking of smoothies, I
Yeah,
think
what's
there's
that? Are they being
I think there's
drugged?
drugs in the smoothies because Lottie, if it is Lottie, I love the idea that it's not. Like, I
Right.
That's
absolutely
super
love that.
fun, isn't it?
Very
Super fun.
fun.
But it
Mhm.
has to be one of the girls. It has to be one of the girls.
It's gotta be Mari. Would
So
have to be Mari.
Lottie or Mary is
Mhm.
so benevolent and calm and wonderful and wafty. But when she's brought the smoothie and she says, "No, that's not the one. I don't want that."
Mhm.
It's the only time we hear her in that sign of kind of
Mhm.
It's
agitato.
true.
And as soon as she did that, I
Absolutely.
thought, "Oh, it's the wrong one.
Mhm.
It's the one
She
for."
scared Lisa in that moment. Like, Lisa was
Yeah,
scared of her.
never heard her
Yeah.
speak like that before.
Mhm. I
So,
agree.
and then you were both talking about, it hadn't occurred to me, but you were both talking about how she said, "Oh, they won't wake up tonight." I
Yes.
can guarantee that. It's like, oh, come on.
Yeah, that was good.
I'm a little worried about that. Well, I guess we'll
I don't
see.
think they're dead, but they might be having very nice sleeps.
Very deep sleeps. Yeah.
I'm gonna say the one issue that I have on this theory of that Lottie is not Lottie is then what is the end game that we have here when she's sort of deteriorating before our eyes at the end? If that's not Lottie, what's going on with that person? What is going on with Mari or Lottie?
Yes.
When it's sort of this, we're gonna play Russian roulette with the drinks, and then we're going to do this hunt, and then I mean, she doesn't even seem to feel the pain of being shot. It's really sort of shocking, her sort of I just don't understand it. It's very quick, this sort of this downfall
This
that she
she's
has sort of
having
at the end.
another breakdown if it's just a
Right.
mental issue in her medication and she's been seeing a fake doctor. Um,
It's brilliant.
I don't
Yeah.
Brilliant.
I
Because
think
it was
it's
always disturbing. You're like, how did you get at that appointment?
I know.
Um,
Where did your other doctor go on sabbatical?
We never see you drive anywhere. Are they coming
No.
to you? Yeah, it was
Right.
weird. Yeah,
So
exactly.
good.
Mhm.
But, she saw the blood coming out of the honey. So I think it's been happening for a while. Maybe it was
That's
someone
true.
she met in the sanatorium, or maybe it's Lottie.
See, I would
Like, it makes the most sense. I love that it's not Lottie,
Right.
but it
I
makes
think
the most
it's
sense that it's Lottie.
I think
Yeah.
it's Lottie, but I hope that we didn't just get excited about another theory like Adam is Javi, and then it's just we're gonna be disappointed again.
That's okay. That's what makes the show really
That's what
interesting
it's
is
the
they've
journey,
given
not
you
the
enough room to
destination.
play. Yeah,
That's what they
they're
said
like,
about Lost when
it
everyone was
could be
mad at the
this.
end.
They're having fun,
Yeah,
it's like
and
it
we're
could be
having
this,
fun coming up
it
with
could be
theories.
this, it could be we don't know. We have no
Absolutely.
what's gonna be in the what are the tiny bones in the cave? I don't know.
Wabbits.
How are people living? Is there somebody else living there? We don't know. We don't know yet.
Oh, any thoughts before we let you go about
Yes.
Cabin Daddy, Jason Ritter, his daughter maybe being there? How long do you think he had been there?
Well, just a cabin in the woods isn't necessarily going to have the most up to date things. So
Mhm.
That's
you
true.
could go to a cabin in the woods
It
now,
could
and
have
there's
70
nothing
stuff.
there since
Yeah,
2000 or before. So
that's true.
uh, I like the idea because, like, what was he doing there? Did he dig tunnels? Was he a dooms prepper? Was he
Mhm.
the Unabomber? Was he a sad man? Like, thematically, there has to be a reason for him to be there. He can't just be there. If we're going to get a flesh and blood
His
Cabin
story.
Daddy,
Yeah. Mhm.
Mhm.
his story, then it has to be betrayal, madness, that he was frightened of his own nature and put himself in solitary, because he wanted to kill people and eat them, and so
Mhm.
he sequestered himself, whatever it might be.
Yeah.
So I like that, but I'm saying it can't just be this entirely other story that doesn't illuminate or mirror or contradict to what we're seeing. Because he's their host, right? They're in his house.
Yes,
He
technically.
built that,
Yes.
yeah.
Or was there someone before him?
Or was there someone before him?
Has this
Is it
been
like the
always
Dread Pirate
happening? There's
Roberts?
always
Has there
been
always had
someone.
Cabin Daddy?
It's the
Maybe
Overlook
Ben was
Hotel.
supposed to be the next Cabin Daddy.
Yeah.
But
And
I'm
he
writing
was
that
like,
down.
"No."
Maybe.
the idea of there being someone else in the woods, I think, is really intriguing.
Right, the
And
others
doesn't
from
have
Lost.
Yeah, it doesn't have to be supernatural.
No.
Another
because
group of survivors.
the girls don't go very far. I mean,
Yeah,
Natalie did,
7 miles.
Yeah.
but it's not. I mean, if you think of the size of that forest,
Yeah,
Right.
7 miles is just not that far.
That's
It's
true.
yeah. I mean, it is far to walk
Mhm.
7 miles in a day, but I mean, it's as far as, yeah, the expanse, there definitely could be something else
Do
around.
you think though, let's just say, because we could make the Lost comparison so many times. Did you watch Lost? So
yes,
the Lost with the others
Yeah.
was one of the biggest shocks on television, that there
Yes.
had been other people there the whole time. Would they just not do it because of that?
They
Ooh.
can't do it like that because there was never any indication. Apart from Rose, there
Mhm.
was never any indication. But we have had indications all the way along that there's someone else there.
Yeah. Javi says specifically,
His
my
friend.
friend.
My
Yeah.
friend, and she.
Mhm.
So I think it's more likely to be a single person. Lost.
Mary Payne did
I'm
not
so
watch Lost,
sorry.
and she's so
Sorry,
frustrated.
I should have thought. Won't somebody think of a justice for Mary? A chance for Mary Payne.
Yeah, chance for
Um,
a chance for Mary Payne to finally watch Lost.
But I think if it is, say it's Cabin Daddy's daughter,
Uh-huh.
why wouldn't she have been living in the cabin? And why would she
Right.
have left her father
Right. Unless there's something
to
supernatural
nugget
that drove her
himself?
out. Yeah.
Unless he died and she couldn't get out.
Yeah,
But then she'd be like sort of a, well, I don't know.
she'd be feral.
Yeah,
Yeah.
pretty much.
Mhm. She'd be
Unless
Nell.
he died when she was 15 or
It's
16.
gonna be Nell.
No, I don't know. Is it going to be Jodie Foster? If Jodie Foster shows up
Jodie
in this
Foster,
show,
yes, Jodie
yeah,
Foster.
exactly. I'm going to lose
If
my
it's
mind.
Jodie
I'm going
Foster.
to try to find this picture.
Yeah.
True Detective is coming.
I know.
can't
In
wait.
Alaska, overnight in
Maybe
the dark.
her Cabin Daddy's daughter killed Cabin Daddy.
Ooh.
There we go.
That's a good That's
So how does that fit into the world of Yellowjackets? Who do you kill? Who's been killed so far?
Jackie by
Harvey.
accident.
Javi
Javi
by accident, but they
by
didn't.
Yeah, see,
Yeah,
those
could
aren't
have-
killed. That's
they
not
could have
murdered.
helped
That's
him.
just
Right.
they died.
Laura
Chris
Lee
Adam?
by accident, fire accident.
Adam.
Crystal, not by accident.
Crystal was technically an accident. She wasn't
Technically an
pushed.
accident.
She was just
She was driven to the edge.
she was driven to the edge.
The
Yeah.
very, very edge.
So is Adam the first active kill? No, because once the hunt starts,
Pit Girl
we're going to get Pit Girl.
if that
Is an
happened
active
would
kill,
be
yes.
yeah.
So you
Which
kill
is
for
also technically
survival.
an accident because she
Yeah.
fell in a pit.
She fell into the
No,
pit.
but it was for trafficking.
No, I know.
Fell
I know.
in
Yeah.
the pit.
But you're right, it's not as
Fell
passive.
into the
It's more
pit.
passive than
Yeah. So you kill for survival in this world.
Well, that's what Lottie says in the end. She says
Mhm.
it's not bad, it's just hungry like we are.
Yes.
I'm going to try to show you these pictures. Cabin Daddy with the daughter.
Oh.
Is that their daughter?
There you go.
Jason Ritter.
And then there's Jason Ritter. Oh, yeah. Is it his daughter maybe in real
Yeah.
life?
I don't know. They do have children, I think.
No, because somebody is messing with the baby's clothes. That's why. So somebody has the little kid's clothes and is doing this. So that's going to be a
Okay.
wardrobe person. But that's the jacket that, yeah, Travis is in his jacket.
And it's in the jacket looks like you're saying the one Natalie wears.
No, it looks like the one. I think they switched this jacket to a few people actually. I feel like Natalie
That makes
also
sense.
does
They do
wear
that on
this at some
Survivor
point.
There's
as
a
well.
jacket that Callie has in her closet that everyone says looks like one of the jackets from the wilderness too.
Hold on. I'm going to
Yeah,
turn
but,
this off real quick. There he is.
Big smiley face.
There's
Oh,
the
okay.
baby
It's
and the
not
guys.
his actual child.
He's
Thank you.
fussing. He's fussing with the clothing,
Yes. Okay.
and then Travis
Last
over
looks.
there.
That's last looks.
Last looks exactly. So there you go. That's.
Oh, wonderful. Look, thank you so much for having me on.
Thank you
We
for coming.
adore
We love
you,
talking to you
everyone.
about this.
Follow Crime Scene and it's SEEN.
Mm-hmm.
So check it out.
Don't get it
And
twisted.
next is Natalia Grace. Or did you just do Natalia Grace?
Tuesday's Hillsong following Tuesday's Natalia Grace.
Perfect.
I gotta.
So
Okay, I
excited.
gotta finish Hillsong so I can listen because I am. Yeah.
Yes.
That is
Yes.
fascinating.
He's going to be The verdict's coming down like 10 minutes down the road from me. So when you watch it and you see the Downing Centre Court, that's where I did my jury duty, and that's where Brian Houston's being charged currently.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
One last question.
Yes.
How many magnifying glasses, Sarah?
Oh, what a great question. Let's say
season 2.
Season 1 was almost season 1 I'd give a 4. Season 2 probably deserves a 2.5, but I'm going to give it a 3.5
That's fine.
because I want to like it, and I came to it as a viewer and not a critic, I think.
Do you think season 3 is
I'm
going to be
okay.
great?
I think season 3 is going to be amazing.
I
Me
think it's
too.
going to
Season
be a
3
huge rebound.
is going to be a huge rebound. Like
Mhm.
season 1, season 2,
Yeah.
season 3.
It's
That's
a
what I think
sophomore
too.
slump.
Yeah.
It's just a sophomore. I think they say that in sports.
I hope that we have less of wilderness, although with Cabin Daddy's the extra episode,
I
the
think
Christmas
it's.
episode.
We
Okay.
think it
I
might
think
be the
so.
extra.
If
Okay.
I had to guess,
So-
I would say they should just
Yeah.
cover that in one episode.
Done.
Don't have anything else. Just focus
Never
on that
again.
if you're trying to give us the story. So,
So 3 should have less of the wilderness
mhm.
and be majorly in the return. I think that would interest me.
Yeah.
Because I thought that we were going to get that this season.
I
When
thought we were going to
see-
get that this season as well.
right?
Yeah.
When the plane, when they have them getting off the plane, and that's all we see, I was like, darn it,
It's not
because
enough.
I thought that was gonna lead into a third timeline. So
Mhm.
yeah,
Mhm.
maybe that's just next season. And you know what
Yeah.
I think is about to happen? I think that there are actually a lot of Easter eggs or things to be looking at in season 2 that are going to make 100% sense in season 3 of why it was done like that and why sort of the pacing felt off. There's something that they might be doing on purpose. So
Yeah.
I'm just
I
gonna.
hope so.
I think so.
Do you think that I mean, I love week by week. It's the way I started watching television, in the old days. And I do love week by week, but I
Yeah.
wonder if season 1 repays a week by week watching, season 2 might repay a binge watching.
Yeah.
Yeah. I
So
think
you
that's
just kind of
possible.
slide through to the
Mhm.
next
Yep.
plot point.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Yeah, it
100%.
is a
Because then I
totally different
think it
experience.
wouldn't feel so weighted in the final 2 episodes. The final
Mhm.
2 episodes seem like
Well, that was the entire season.
Yeah.
100%.
Yeah.
So
And when you're binging, it just all feels like you're watching a long movie. So
Yes.
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 because
Yeah,
when
I
you're
agree.
watching the final 2 episodes, it feels like a lot of those items could have just been done earlier. You could just
Mhm.
handle that a little bit, or we don't need to do that now. And so
Yes.
yeah,
Yes. They ran
we'll
out of
see.
runway. But yes,
Yeah.
thank you. 3.5 magnifying glasses for Yellowjackets season 2. Looking forward
love
to
it.
a 5 magnifying glass season 3.
Yay.
Yes. Thank you so
Thank
much.
you, Sarah.
Thank you, Sarah. Thank
Bye.
you.
Bye. Our first international guest, our first guest. We
She's so
have our
smart.
very
Sarah, you're
last
such a
guest.
smart woman.
Our very last guest
Is
is
Danny.
I guess it's Danny.
He's back.
It's Danny again.
Very
You know
popular.
she has more cats than Danny, but
But Danny really likes to
the
be on
one
the
that
mic.
really likes Yellowjackets. Are you ready, our special very last guest?
Are you ready?
Can you give me a thumbs up?
Can you hear
Can
us?
you hear me? Okay. Here we go. Oh, we did have someone. We had Amanda from Canada. She's international too.
Oh, yeah.
Okay. We're bringing on our final guest, who is Jake.
Jake, you're on. Can we
Jake
hear
is
you?
our co-host for our secondary podcast, A Date with the Bake, which is about Great British Bake Off. And the three of us pretend like we know about baking. Katie kind of knows about baking. And Jake has some theories about Yellowjackets.
Oh, Jake, your mic's off. Click your mic. No.
And-
It's on this screen. You're fine. I see you're muted.
Thank you.
There you are.
Good
You sound
catch.
great. Do you see
Thank
Danny
you so
waving
much.
at you, Jake?
Hi, Danny.
He's not looking. Okay.
Hello, Danny. Hi, Danny.
Okay. He's going away. Bye-bye, Danny.
Jake,
All right.
what
Hi,
have you
Jake.
been listening tonight? I know you've been joining all of our chats, so thank you so
Yes.
much. And
Jake's
you're
been our moderator for the season and also very, very smart commenter.
spitting lots of good comments in the chat. Yeah. So what have you thought about tonight's theories?
There's a lot of them, so it's hard to parse.
Do you think
I like them.
do you think there's any validity to Lottie, adult Lottie is not adult
Lottie's not
Lottie?
Lottie. Have you heard that before?
I haven't heard that, and I don't necessarily think that one works for me. I
No, but
think
it's fun.
that the casting is fine. I think that I buy that the adult version of Lottie is a lot more polished given her position
Right.
in essentially as a, a cult leader or a religious figure or whatever.
Mhm.
So I think like she might have had like a meeting with a stylist and you know what I mean? Like
Okay.
a packaging that kind of brings it all together.
Also, I did hear somebody say that the actress that plays young Lottie, some ethnicity that she is from, and they picked an adult actress with from the same like region or her parents
Okay.
are. So they did try to do it like that.
Right.
So, but it's a really fun theory. I just like the fun theories.
Mm-hmm.
I
I think
just
there's
never
just
heard it.
like there's a lot of like North American indigenous themes and subtext that I think, I think that's probably, what they were doing with the casting there. I think with Lottie, right?
Yeah,
I don't think they've been explicit about like, her background or anything, but I
right.
think they've hinted at it essentially. So, yeah.
She's very
Oh,
in
okay.
touch with the land, and yeah.
And I think
Oh.
don't they imply she's adopted?
Do they?
I don't
thought
recall
that they
that.
did. I thought that because
Oh,
there's
that's a good. I
only
gotta write that
brief
down. Yeah.
there's
I don't know.
only brief
Did they
like a
did they imply
flashback.
that?
Maybe I imagined that, but I felt like they kind of implied. I thought they kind of the way they shot the parents, and this is going back to season 1, I think.
Yeah.
Right.
is they kind of shoot them peanut style. So you see like from the
Oh.
like
Yes.
chest down, that
Yes.
kind of thing, and you hear voices, but you don't actually
Yes.
have an actor.
Oh, Sarah got that vibe as well.
Okay.
Interesting.
Thank
Okay.
you. So
And she's
yeah,
an only child, right? We see her
right.
sitting sort of
I
in the
think
back seat of the car, in the center of the car,
exactly.
which generally
Yeah.
denotes like she's it.
Which is
Okay.
kind of
Interesting.
strange. Like sometimes in movies they portray the adopted child coming with all this crazy supernatural baggage like Damien or something.
Sure. Yeah.
And so I
Damien's
don't
not
love
adopted?
that
1 and
if it's
2.
just like
He's adopted.
mental illness is not
Right.
evil necessarily. I
Right.
feel
Exactly.
and I know the actress is trying really hard. I know the actress that plays Lottie had said she wouldn't do the role if it had said mental illness meant you were evil or bad or anything like that.
Mhm.
Whether it's a supernatural thing or just the whole thing is mental illness, sleep depravity, mercury poisoning, belt poisoning. Do you have any thoughts
Yeah.
about that? Supernatural versus
Oh, you're asking. Don't ask that question yet. That's our last question because then the poll will
Okay.
be complete. The poll will
Oh,
be complete at that because that's the
so
question of
save that.
supernatural or not supernatural.
Okay.
Don't
Okay.
answer that
Fair
yet.
enough. Fair enough.
We have time to we have time before that really quick.
Okay.
Who
Yeah.
actually is Adam Martin? Go.
Adam Martin is a member of the original cult that Walter is the leader of, that Lottie has usurped.
Yeah, Jake's
So
got some good theories.
I got a
Let's
whole
go.
theory. Are we ready? Are we ready to lay it on out?
Yes, I'm ready. Okay, so you think that he's a member of a separate cult that's not Lottie's cult.
It kind of is Lottie's cult. It's we talked about this, like Lottie would be like a squirrel to Scientology. Or
What's
you
a
had
squirrel?
like a squirrel is someone who uses the technology of Scientology, but doesn't use the structure of the church.
Like an
So they're
offshoot
usually,
that they
they're
kind of
usually like people who've left the church, but still find value in the sort of rituals of Scientology. So yeah, that's my
Just be
theory.
like
is
a
what's going on there.
polygamous portion of LDS.
Right? You said that, and
Is that what I
in another
said? I remember
conversation,
that.
and
Okay.
that's
So it's
the
an
same.
off branch. Okay,
right.
go ahead.
Yeah, so essentially, this is funny, but I think the 1999 movie Ravenous, I think
Yeah.
works as a pretty decent prequel. It's set in the Yukon. It's a Western about a guy who gets sent to basically exiled And what he comes up on is a group of exiled soldiers who will eat each other, and gain strength from them. From the
Oh.
practice of
Mhm.
eating other people. And so it's all these, dudes in the Yukon wilderness, snowy Canada. And essentially the timeline kind of works. Like, I think there was a group of people during this exploration, whether they're looking for gold or whatever they're doing,
This would be
whether
what the
they're
symbol is
mining,
from.
they're doing surveying.
Excavating.
Heliotrope is obviously a big thing. Heliotrope is a powerful word in the sort of mythos of Yellowjackets, in that, hey, it's a color that they all wear, but it's also surveyors,
Tool.
Use the
device
tool.
tool. Yeah. So I think that, I think that stuff is essentially, someone was there before them. We know this. Something's laid out. There's markings. So I think
Yeah.
basically there's the wilderness is female energy. It likes female energy. And
Oh.
guys went and harnessed it 100 years earlier and have been using it for their, benefit, socially and otherwise. And this was a disruption to their continuity. I think that's where I'm working from. So like Walter, Adam, potentially Ben, all of these people are involved in this like original harnessing and
We're trying to
worshiping of the
harness this.
wilderness.
Was that
That's
on
crazy.
Lost with the Dharma Initiative? Were they trying to harness the weird properties of the
Could be.
island?
I don't remember Lost super well, but that may be what I don't know what I
There
don't remember
were
the
like
Dharma Initiative was
geological
doing. Yeah,
properties and time
sure.
like things that I feel like we're trying to harness.
Yeah, that's very possible. I don't remember, but like I think that's the point. And I think
Sarah says, "Sing it, Jake."
all right. So yeah, to jump ahead, Walter is the head of the
This is your Walter theory. Yeah.
Yeah, it's my Walter theory. Walter
Mhm.
is fabulously wealthy. There's a lot of mystery money throughout this show if you go back and look.
Yeah.
Jeff knows weird people with money. Ty is thirsty for a
donor.
dark money donation
Mhm.
in the 11th
Yeah.
hour, which I
Right.
think allows her to win when she's projected not to, I believe is how
Mhm.
that storyline goes. So yeah,
Well,
I
was
feel
that
like
Or was it the
the
sacrifice
throne?
of the dog?
The throne, the
well,
sacrifice.
are they not the same thing maybe too?
Right.
So I guess I'm going to
Oh.
say I'm on Team Supernatural. At
It
this
does.
point.
Yeah.
I'm
Yeah,
excited to hear that because I've been outnumbered tonight.
Yeah, I had been at the beginning of season 2. I was on It's All Explainable, but I think we've gotten to the point where like there's stuff that's just not. It can't possibly be explained. It
Mhm.
couldn't be a coincidence. So, yeah, I think we've got a supernatural situation on our hands. But yeah, I think Walter is fabulously wealthy because it's like, essentially, it's consumption. It's all consumption, right? Like the same way that you give your things over to the Lottie's group when you
Sure.
come in,
When
you
you
give
yeah.
all your possessions to Walter and the gang's church, and it becomes his. It's all about consumption. They don't necessarily tell you that when you join the crew, but I think essentially like there's randomization, picking, people get eaten. It's all the wilderness is happy because it's gotten blood, and
Right.
they derive power from it. And I think that's a racket that's been going on for a long time that was disrupted.
Interesting.
It feels like Cabin in the Woods.
Mm-hmm.
Do you
Yeah,
remember the end of Cabin in
for
the
sure.
Woods?
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, same. Yeah, kind of same idea where
I
there's
won't
like
ruin it if anyone has seen
you
Cabin in the
don't
Woods.
know what you're dealing with until you get to the end there.
And
Until
yeah.
something has been going on for many, many
and
years.
something old
Right.
Something
needs
old. And it's either it falls upon whoever is there to
Mhm.
sort of
Yeah, they feed it.
feed it. Yeah.
Yeah, it's
Yeah.
a feeding.
Yeah.
Okay, interesting.
hungry.
Well, and it's also
Not bad.
the reason that that sort of makes sense is I actually just did rewatched Cabin in the Woods recently.
Okay.
And something that it reminded me of was, do you remember they do a really specific shot when Shauna is cutting Javi on the slab, on the Abraham slab, which is literally what it looks like. It's
You
kind
mean
of
when
shocking.
she's like bleeding him?
Yeah.
Mhm.
And they do a long shot of that blood on the snow.
Right. Yeah.
Long shot
Yes,
of it like
exactly. And it drains
pooling
directly
into the
down
snow.
into it.
Yeah. And I was like, that's not a necessary shot. We know what's
Mhm.
going on. But I'm
Right.
wondering if it's on purpose.
Well,
Yeah, I
they've
think
been
so.
saying it wants blood since the beginning. That's what
Oh, yeah.
Mhm.
Lottie said, and then
In French.
in French.
In French, which now
Again, the only thing that annoys me about that is the French from Lost. They had that
Right.
French lady
Yeah.
on the thing. Sorry,
But
Mary Payne.
just so you know, like
They're in
French
Canada, though.
Canadians would
Yeah.
be that's
They're
so
in
it actually
Canada.
scans more than
It makes
than,
more sense than on Lost.
exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah. So that might be it. Did you like what I heard said about Walter and the serial killer thing? Did you hear that about
I
serial
did.
killers do puzzles? That was
Yeah,
kind of
that's great.
surprising.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Walter's absolutely a serial killer. It's part of his
I mean, he
never,
is, right?
He's never been anything else. I
Right.
think
Yeah, he
he's like
definitely is.
multi-generational bred into this.
I mean, I also feel like that, yeah, and I feel like the money is either just old money. He's just
Right.
long lines of money.
Not
Yeah.
the
Or he
bricks
just like
that fell on his head?
Nah.
That story's fake.
Kimberly,
Well, I do remember
Kimberly.
something falling off the Hancock building in Chicago and hitting somebody, and I think they lived, but I can't remember.
Kimberly, you thought that story was real?
Remember that guy
Yeah.
with the bricks?
And
Oh,
the
yeah,
Taco
guy
Bell
with the bricks.
stock, you
No,
think that's real?
because that was part of the two truths and a lie.
And he
Right.
said they were all true.
Did he say they were all true? But
Yes, he
the
said they were
bricks
all
wasn't
true.
part of that. The bricks was something else.
The bricks was a different story. I think almost everything Walter said is a lie
Yes.
to us so far. I don't think we
Yes.
really know anything about Walter.
But
If I
I
had to
don't
guess.
think he's out to get Misty, which was the concern. We wanted them to be true love, even if they're both serial killers together. We want that. We don't want it to be some is from this other cult trying to lure her to Lottie's. That was
I'm
one
hoping
theory.
not. I want
Right.
you to be right because
I have two things on this.
Oh no.
So I've been wondering if
Is
they're
one of
if
them
they
that's
all-
not right?
Yeah, maybe.
Jake. Right.
Well, what we wanted, I want to talk about the Angela Lansbury and
Yes. Okay. Talk about that because I
and
don't.
and
yeah,
Barbara Streisand. So I asked in the chat if Barbara Streisand was still code, essentially. That basically, like, if you listen to Barbara Streisand, you are gay.
Oh, hey, he said
Essentially.
it was on YouTube.
It was on YouTube. Was it
His
on
story
YouTube?
about the bricks.
Okay. Did we watch it?
No, but
Has
He
anybody
said it was
looked it
on
up to
YouTube?
see if they did an actually funny video about
I
it?
bet they. I
Oh,
wish
I
they
don't know.
did because
to
of
do
Lottie's
that.
Wonder.
voicemails. They keep
I
out doing
wonder.
Lottie's
Right.
voicemails.
Right.
Okay, sorry. Go ahead. What were you
I'm
saying?
shocked.
Okay.
Okay,
Well,
sorry.
so I
Something about
think
Barbara.
obviously he's listening to Sweeney Todd because he eats people, right? That's a given.
Yes. Yes.
And so Angela Lansbury's like Katie put this into perspective for me that Angela Lansbury is like famous for this role. She started this role. She basically
Yeah.
like wrote the book on how to sing it, essentially. So, and
Mrs.
he's an
Lovett, yeah.
Angela Lansbury stan, right?
Because
so what
the
does it
folder in the
because
computer, but then he
So it's in
doesn't
the
have her
same
version
scene.
doing
It's the
it.
same scene. So it's the filmmakers are telling you, like, he is not like romantically available for Misty. I think that's like essentially
Not
what-
again. Not again.
Yeah, that's
You
I
mean
think
because
that's
of
what
Barbara?
yeah, I think
Barbara
he's not
Streisand?
on
Are they
that
pointing to
team.
that? I hope they're
Yeah,
not
I
pointing
thought
to
so.
that.
I thought they were. I think that's why else would you include
They're
that
gonna do it to
information?
Misty twice.
Well, do you think that there's a possibility that Misty, who loves show tunes, might have come across this phenomenon more than once in her life?
I don't know. Well, that first guy she dated in the first season, she was
Mhm.
maybe going to murder him.
She
He
did
was
not
not
like
that
him.
into her, but I don't
No.
think he was gay. I think
That
he
was a
just wasn't
first
that
date.
into her.
Right. That was the
Yeah.
first date, and he wasn't into her. She was trying really hard. Good for
I
her.
hope you're wrong, but I hear your theory. Okay.
I hope you're wrong too.
And then
All
my
right.
other point is I wonder if
interesting.
they all don't have counterparts. So Adam was Shauna's counterpart. He's dead, right? Misty and Walter are counterparts. Are there you know what I mean? Like, are there other counterparts in the original cult that sort of coincide with these? And then that's kind of based on that they're all
So each of these people are being sent after one of the Yellowjackets specifically that are in this other cult. So you're
Right.
saying Adam was sent to Shauna.
Yes.
Walter is sent to Misty.
Yes.
Someone is coming to
Why wasn't he sent
Ty.
to her in the first season when everyone else got sent
Because
to?
Adam was. We saw the Adam season.
No,
Mhm.
but Adam was sent to Shauna,
Mhm.
Yep.
and then
And
in the
was sent to
second
seduce her,
season,
And it
and
didn't
she
work.
is
And she killed
accidentally
him.
murders him. Yes.
Walter was sent to Misty. So
okay,
far, so good.
okay.
Mhm.
So next season, someone's coming for Thaisa.
Maybe. Yeah, I don't know. I don't know
Or
if it's that
Van is a
direct.
part of
Van.
this other
Oh,
group.
that's another possibility as well. Yeah.
And Van is
Yeah,
for
team
Thaisa.
Team Second Cult does have a lot of traction on Reddit
Yeah, I wasn't sure, and it really wasn't
or
until
underground cult, whatever,
Right,
like
right.
another faction of the cult,
Yeah.
or yeah,
Mhm.
Team Second Cult.
hmm or
I
just
like it.
Lottie's cult, but like a group you
Right.
don't know about. Maybe
Yeah.
like the chair people, like that we don't get to meet. Like
Mhm.
there's her parents are very rich, and
Yes, they are.
what if her
Why are
parents
they so rich?
Why did they? Is there any like they bought that plane
Second
or rented
cult.
the plane?
Parents Second Cult.
Parents
maybe.
Second Cult. Yeah, maybe.
We need a name other than Second Cult. The
Did
original cult.
they adopt Lottie on purpose?
Right.
Yeah.
And did they send her to the wilderness on purpose in a
Right.
broken plane?
Did they
Yes.
adopt Lottie on purpose? And is Lottie Cabin Daddy's baby daughter?
Someone said
see
that in the
in
chat.
the pictures.
Ooh la la, I like it.
Somebody
I
said that
love it.
already?
Yeah,
love
someone
it.
said that in the
Aw.
chat, but why would she not be on the plane? So she was in the woods, and then she went out to
Adopted,
civilization and then
lived a
went back
life.
to the woods.
She was adopted. She was taken from the wilderness,
Mhm.
given to these parents, who then sent her back to the wilderness.
Or the wilderness just kept calling her home.
that too.
Yeah.
Your work is not finished here, young Lottie.
Mhm.
What do you think? That's not a
I-
bad theory.
Yeah, I like it.
What?
I do think this might be true. You guys give these writers way too much credit, but I love the theories.
I
Well-
think that I'm right. I think that we're all right, and might be it.
No, but
We
I think
cracked
that's
it. We solved it.
like with the shift to blatantly supernatural. I think what like the plotting's a little dodgy. Yeah, that's fair. Absolutely, but I think thematically it's gotten richer. So that's why I kind of can sacrifice some nuts and bolts
Right.
if you're giving me a bunch to chew on
Yeah.
thematically, and I think they've done that a lot in season 2, in fact.
So
do
what
you
do
like
you
season 2?
Yeah, I
Yeah.
do actually. Yeah, I mostly do.
and what do you hope to see in season 3?
I mean, I think I just want to
Yeah.
know more.
Do you
I
want
really,
this other timeline of them getting rescued?
Yeah, how do you feel about us being shown a third timeline in season 3?
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, I'm not opposed to it. I do
Mm-hmm.
think there's something interesting in one of the things that came up today with like what if winter never ends?
I said that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I think that could because my thinking is like, okay, we've got Javi. You can make it. You made it X amount of months on Jackie, essentially. So you can make it to the spring, no problem. Then you got the spring. All things being equal, what people did before, grocery stores is they hunt a lot, in the spring and summer. So
They stock up
So
for
all
and then
things-
right.
Right. So all things being equal, they should not have any problems next year. Do you know what I mean?
if they can get better at hunting animals, they
Well-
haven't been as successful.
Yeah. I mean,
As
I
they
feel
were
like
hoping.
the first season was kind of a learning curve.
Right.
And not season as in seasons,
If
but the
Lottie
first
has some
season.
powers, or the Antler Queen does, Natalie
Mm-hmm.
now like can bring more bears, etc.
Yeah. I
Or they're
feel
just
like
going to get
we've
better at
set
shooting.
up that Nat is better at hunting at this point. So, but who knows? I guess we'll have to find out.
I hate to do this, but I have to raise the question of ice fishing at this point, which has
I
been
heard
brought
it.
to my
I saw
attention.
in the chat.
Oh, did somebody say something? I mean, I'm not sure why we're
Wow.
not giving that a shot. Is
Okay,
there
so no. So in
Yeah.
the first season, Travis is laying out nets and they never catch any fish in
Okay.
that lake. So
Okay.
there weren't fish in the summer even.
no fish, only moose?
Well, the moose was if it fell in. Yeah. It was. What if the moose just lived in that lake?
It's weird.
No, I think they did have a
Supernatural.
scene where Jackie goes to Travis and he is trying to they had a net in that water in the warm months, no fish. So
Right. Could
it's a
be
lake without
the
fish.
whatever the mining stuff, the
Kills
red
all the
water
fish.
has killed all the fish or something around there, which also could be a problem for other wildlife when they hunt.
Yeah,
Like, it could
absolutely.
be strangely underpopulated because of environmental factors. So,
Mhm.
yeah, I guess that's a plot point. We'll find out.
Where are we going with Coach Ben?
I think Coach Ben is team 2. And I think that pan up, I do believe he gets rescued and says there's nobody else. I think you're right on that.
Ooh, Kimber.
Because that pan up is very intentional. It doesn't
It's
exist
so
in
long.
it doesn't
That
exist
smoke-
in reality, right? They did
that
not burn a
smoke-
house. They had an animator intentionally make that. So I think they're drawing attention to the fact that it's so big it will be seen. I think that is what that shot.
And you think that he will say no one else survived?
Yeah, I think it's a really good chance. There
would
won't
love
be
that.
any, like, there's There's a burned cabin. There's a, you know what I mean? There's a plane wreckage. Like, maybe they just, you know what I mean? I don't know if the only problem is, of course, they do a massive, forensic investigation of the
Right.
entire crash site. So
Well,
there'd
it
be,
would
like,
only work,
tons of
if they
people.
never found the cabin because they would see there were no bodies in the cabin.
Right.
But
Or
if you-
are there? Maybe there are bodies in the walls of that cabin. We don't know. We don't know what happened there before.
Sure.
they would
Who knows?
probably try to match dental records.
But I
and
think,
to
like,
see
they would
what girls it was.
They do a
Yeah.
pretty, like, meticulous job reconstructing exactly what happens with plane crashes, is my understanding.
Yeah.
So I think
Yeah.
they're probably gonna, like, suss out pretty much a good chunk if they rescue Ben. But then again, maybe we're just gonna
Because of
Suspend your
lawsuits,
disbelief.
families
Yeah,
will
maybe.
sue and they will want to know
Exactly.
who's to
Yeah,
blame. The
exactly.
airline will try to say it's not their
Absolutely.
fault.
Well, it's a
They'll blame it
private
on the
jet,
pilot.
so it's probably an insurance claim. It's probably a
Mhm.
massive, massive
Yeah.
insurance claim.
I also find it weird that we would not have heard about that by now. That we would not
They're
have.
saving twists. They can't give away all the twists.
No,
They're
that
saving adults for us. So
Yeah.
if he's an adult, they're saving him.
Mhm.
they're saving, an adult for us. We think.
At least one adult they're saving for us.
Do
Yeah.
you
There
think
might
Ben
be
set
more.
Do you think Ben set the fire?
Oh, unquestionably, there's an insert shot of his hand thumbing rope and matches. Like,
Yeah, it's either the
they-
biggest fake
and
out.
yeah, would be, why would you
But
shoot
the
that
door
scene?
wasn't wrapped with rope.
Yeah, it was tied.
Mm-mm.
See, Sarah saw nails. Somebody
Okay.
else on Reddit saw rope.
Okay,
somebody
I
on
thought it was tied. That's
Reddit
why
saw
they
rope.
smash it out on top. That's how they get through, because it's tied
Interesting.
at the doorknob. So they have to start smashing the top of the door, and then they get through. I believe that's how it broke down.
Mary
but I could be
Payne
wrong.
thinks that the moss that they have been focusing on for 2 seasons is magical and it will prevent the cabin from actually burning to the
I
ground.
actually
Although
had a
we
moss
did
thing
see
too.
a part of the roof collapse.
Yeah, I've been on the Magic Moss team for a while, so yeah, because moss obviously could not grow.
No, people are saying it can. That's what
can,
people
huh?
are. I don't know.
Interesting.
Wait a minute. Hold on.
Okay.
Akila
Yes.
and Jen, they're not there. Are they in the house? What do you think?
Oh, in that wide shot of them all looking in there, maybe.
They're not there.
Okay. Maybe.
Also, what does Van run back inside to get?
What was that annoying shot of her being like, Ty, you go. No, come with me. I'll be right behind you. Like, why didn't she just leave?
That's the order, the final order, and Van's the last one to run out.
Yeah, I
and
know.
she almost dies, and it
remember
was like-
But she goes back in. I watched it again. You see her back turn, and
Yeah.
she runs and
Is
gets
it-
something and comes back. So I'm just really. Did she get
The
the card deck?
cards. Is it the
Maybe.
cards?
It
Oh,
might be the
Van.
cards. Well, that's
Yeah.
messed up, though. I really hope it's not the cards.
I mean, we
Yeah.
I
got
really don't want
lots
it
of
to be the
okay,
cards.
what draws validity to that is how many shots we saw of them picking stuff up.
Right.
Pot,
Yeah.
matches, another pot,
They
another
got the pee bucket.
you know, poop bucket, whatever. We saw them, but we didn't see it pick up the cards.
Yeah.
And we'd like the cards to burn at this point.
Yeah,
'cause
we
the
those
cards are
but
scary.
again, as you have pointed out, like Van is suspiciously on board with all this hokum.
She's the one who holds out the cards at the beginning. She holds up
Mhm.
the Queen of Hearts
Yeah.
as teens, and then Misty walks around and passes them. And then in the
Right.
present, she's the one who starts the hunt. She wants to draw first.
Mhm,
So
mhm.
it makes sense that she would go back for the cards, that's
Right.
what's important to her.
It
Yeah.
did confirm, by the way, that the cards are specific, the cards they hold up, and they
Yeah,
are. I
right.
guess cardology is definitely a thing.
Like
Mhm.
numerology,
Yeah.
Yeah, you could look up
like
your
what their
birthday
numbers are
and
means
find out
something.
what
Mhm.
card you're
Mhm.
associated with.
Mhm.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
But they're drawing different cards each time.
Right, but I think it means something different each time. I think because they've
Mhm.
changed, like as they like whatever their journey is going to be. The card, I don't know. I just
Mm-hmm.
find it interesting that they had to pick those cards. That was confirmed that they needed to pull that exact card. Feels like it should mean something. I'm not sure.
Mhm.
I'm not sure if that's true. We'll see. We'll see. What do you want to see in season 3?
Yeah, I don't know. I just want to see more. I mean, I'd love to see my kooky theories confirmed, but you know, I have
I
no
think
idea.
your theories are really good. I think the
Well,
second cult
we'll
is a
see.
for real. What's the other theory that you think that is not real?
I mean, I guess
I
that's
mean,
the
the one-
big one. That just like I feel like I have Walter pretty made as not a good guy. Like I
Mhm.
love him, but he's not a good guy.
It
Mhm.
can he just be a good guy but not like we've said about Misty many times, like she's not
Mhm.
just evil. She does
Right.
have good qualities
Of
and has
course. Yeah.
loyalty to her friends
Yeah.
and
Yeah.
stuff. Like everyone is not good or evil. It's just we all
Right.
have dark sides and light
True.
sides.
Yeah. So Walter could be, you know, multi-dimensional.
I mean, what he's
I don't
doing
think
as a
so.
serial killer, let's
I'm
say
not
he's
so
like
sure.
Dexter and he's only killing like people who deserve it. He's the same as
Right.
the girls in the wilderness that are just doing
He's
stuff
not-
for survival.
Because Kevin
Kevin
Tan
Tan
definitely
didn't
didn't
deserve
deserve it. The
Well,
other guy
Kevin Tan
deserved
did not
it.
deserve
I
it.
think it's
Great
then.
point.
I think
I
it's
take it all
also.
back. You're right. You're right.
I think it's also pointing to the fact that he's not killing that guy. It's Kevin Tan. Like
Mhm.
it's the guy that's actually okay. No, I think
Right.
That he doesn't
Walter.
kill porno stash.
He doesn't kill the extremely suspicious behaving individual.
Right.
He kills
Right.
the
Yeah.
basically the straight cop,
But he's doing
like the
it.
good cop.
Well, but like
Mhm.
Jessica Roberts she wasn't a great person, but like she didn't deserve to die. But Misty did it to protect her friends, and Walter killed Kevin Tan to protect.
Yeah. What do they
Misty.
call her? Like a rat effer? Isn't that like what she's called politically?
Is that what they call
I
that?
think that's what
people
she's
who do
called.
opposition
Like
research?
scuzzy, dark
Ooh.
stuff. I believe is what that's her job is called.
Wow.
So yeah. So I don't know if she's necessarily bad, but she's like, I think you become morally compromised.
For sure.
if
She does
you-
say when she's being tied up,
Yeah.
she's like, I've done way worse stuff than this. I've been through way worse
Mhm.
stuff than this.
Yeah,
I don't.
she does say that.
She says
Huh.
like I'm a
Yeah.
bad. I don't do good things. Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
But Kevin was a good person
Kevin was a good person, and the only reason they
and a
killed him is
father
'cause
to
the
that
only
kid who
person
plays
who would
soccer.
care is Nat. And I was like, oh, poor Kevin. Like the only person who cared about you in this storyline just died.
Yeah.
So you're done.
Yeah.
I feel bad for Kevin.
Kevin, I
Do you
feel
think
bad for
Natalie's
Kevin
really
Scott,
dead?
who is playing
think she's
soccer.
dead?
by the
Yeah,
way.
yeah. Oh, by the way, it's fade out again. It's fade out. It's Street Spirit fade out in the Radiohead song. It's like emphatically the
What do you
the
mean
song they
fade
play.
out?
What
The
were
song
we
they
talking?
play. I think you guys were
It's
saying it
Street
might
Spirit.
be. There
but
was
what's-
fake out. The song is called Street Spirit Fade Out. So it's like
Oh, and we said
definitively
fake out?
fade out again. Yeah, she's dying. She died. I believe she died.
Yeah,
I think.
she's dead.
I think she's gone. I mean, we know Juliette Lewis was.
Yeah,
Well, as
we
soon
did.
as I heard she was you guys talked about that she was not psyched about the storyline in
The
season 1. I was
storyline.
like, oh, that's not going to make it. And she also has had nothing to do, like we talked about. They sort of gave her this side mission.
And
with,
it seemed so
but
strange, her just, like, all of a sudden in one episode being into the cult and, like,
Mhm.
she came to avenge Travis's death, and then it just turned
Oh,
into
one thing that I think was lost that someone in the chat pointed out last week was that I think Nat fully intended to kill Lottie. I think that's why she has a knife. I think that's why she's there the whole time. I think she's gonna put a stop to it. I'm pretty certain that's how, like, because Nat has a knife. What's her motivation? She's
No, I never got why she was willing to do the hunt, but
I
it
think
she
she
seemed like she was
planned on
going after
killing.
Shauna with the rest of them.
I
She
know, yeah.
brings the no, but I think that was a ploy. Yeah, I think that's correct, that she was
And
planning on,
She
and that's why
wanted
Lisa
to
comes out of nowhere, right, to
She wanted
protect
to
Mhm.
talk
Lottie.
about their trauma. Lottie said the time for talking Lottie, the, like, therapist-y person,
Right,
is like,
right.
"Talking is over. We need to do the poison ritual."
Yeah, we need to
Um,
go ahead and yeah.
and then I can't remember if she was on team, like, "Let's call and get her committed."
I don't think she is. I think she's fainting. She's playing a feint or
And she
whatever you
wants
call it.
to
Like,
Yeah,
kill
yeah.
I think
Lottie.
she, because I'm pretty sure that's her point. That's her function as the avatar of Artemis, right?
She was, like, kind
She's
of
got to
enjoying
kill
the cult, though.
Persephone.
She was, like,
I
getting
think she
benefits
was
from the
like,
cult. She had
yeah,
stopped drinking. She
yeah,
was, she had bonded with
totally,
Lisa.
right. I
But
think
she
she's
does
having
at
an
the
okay
end say to
time,
Lisa, like, "Forgiveness, it's a nice idea, but I
right?
can't do it."
Yeah,
So she's like, "I am just a killer." So maybe
she
she
knows
was just
she's a
leaning
killer.
into her killer
I think that's the thing. Is
thing.
that, like, at the end of the day, she knows the one thing she is a killer,
A
and that's
hunter.
like not even what she wanted to be. It just worked out that way.
She was gonna
Aw.
at the end with the knife, she was saying, "Lottie, why won't you just shut up? Why
Yeah,
won't
she
you
says,
just
"Why won't
stop?
you just stop
Just
talking?"
stop."
Yeah.
Yeah.
And Lottie
Yeah, because
says,
honestly, if Lottie had
"You
just
were always
never
the
said
wilderness's
anything, if
favorite."
Lottie hadn't been like this in the wilderness, like, would Van and everyone have come under this sort of spell of, like, maybe, I don't
Would they
know.
have lived though?
Would they have
Also,
lived? Yeah.
would they
No,
have
that's a
like is the I mean, like literally they don't want to eat Jackie, and the wilderness is like, oh, but what if I cooked it for you? You know what I mean? And they're like,
Mhm.
yeah.
well, that's
Like,
No.
hard
I
to say
thought
no
she
to
was
because I'm
faking
super hungry.
I thought Natalie was faking being into the cult for a long
Hmm.
time, but they
Yeah,
never gave it a
right.
payoff
There's no like
or a
reveal.
reveal where we get to
Right.
go, "Oh, she was faking the whole time," which makes me
Hmm.
think, was that just sloppy ending writing,
Yeah,
or was it
But
maybe.
was this the reveal? Was her about to attack Lottie the reveal?
maybe, but
Yeah, I think so. I think it's just underplayed. It's not hit
maybe.
hard enough that you like realize what's happening. Because
Yeah,
I missed it. It was just pointed out, but I'm like, that actually makes sense.
But that
yeah.
is what happened, and then so sorry, again, what is Lisa's function?
So I think she
Well,
did start to make a bond and learn
right.
something from Lisa.
It's literally Lisa is there for Natalie's journey.
Well, and someone pointed out in the comments, Katie, they
Mm,
said, like, we talk about what was this person's function to the greater mystery, but
Uh-huh.
sometimes it's just for character development, and one person's character is there just to make another person grow, and it's not necessarily for the greater mystery of the show. And that maybe that's just what Lisa was there for. Although I don't know why we had to meet Lisa's mom.
Do
I
you
have an
think that's
alternate
do you think
theory.
that's true? Okay. Wait, Kimberly first. Do you think that's true?
No, I think Lisa was more important, and I just don't think it worked the way it was supposed to,
Do you
or
think we
there's
don't know
more in
yet?
the next season.
Okay, there we go. All right, Jake, what's your theory on Lisa?
So Callie, this is shout out Faye Fire. This is not me. This is I've been watching other people's videos.
Oh yeah, Faye
And
Fire's got a lot of good theories on
so
this. Mhm.
the wilderness touched Callie and
Yes.
I can't remember
We
her
talked
name,
about
sorry.
that a little
Yeah.
bit
Yeah.
ago. Mhm.
Yeah. And so the saga continues. The cycle continues. I think that's important that like you have to have humans in contact with the wilderness or it just like recedes back
Right.
into wherever it's from. So I think this is the next generation being brought in. Straight up. So, and I think it was
Oh, it's going to be Callie and Lisa.
yeah, exactly. So I think that's why we get so much Lisa backstory because we're going to get a lot more Lisa front story in season.
Oh my
3.
gosh, Lottie is trying to get these girls to the wilderness. No, Lottie's doing that. That's
you
Lottie
think?
like hand picking people. Yes,
You think?
100%.
Okay.
Because look at her reaction to Callie when Callie walks up and she's like, look at
Yeah,
you.
yeah.
You're so powerful.
Yes,
You know?
exactly. Yes, exactly.
Oh, Kimberly's gone. All right. Thank you
Uh-oh.
so much, Jake.
What? I'm gone?
Your
Hey, I
insight.
want to plug my playlist real quick that I made.
Yes, please.
So I made a Spotify playlist. I'm gonna drop it in the chat. Let's
Was I
see.
gone?
Mike,
Am
Oh
I
no,
here?
just
for
gone. Like
for a
good
sweet
night.
second.
Oh, but I'm back.
Yeah, you're here. Yes.
Okay. Sorry, Jake. Go ahead.
No, it's okay. So I made a tape for Nat. It's
Oh,
essentially the conceit was it had to be 90 minutes because tapes were 90 minutes. And it's everything pre 1996, and I probably had it, or everything. I knew all this stuff, so it's nothing that was on the show, I don't think, or likely to be on the show, but yeah, just kind of a tape like I used to make them.
I love that.
that's really cool.
And
You did a good job. And also
there's
Jake has a
my
lot of Greek mythology theories that might have to do a little sprout off side thing on
yeah.
that he and I might talk about, because it is very in depth, but it is very interesting. So if you're
Well,
interested
it's
in that
still
side of the Yellow
yeah.
Jackets theories, then yeah.
So everyone go to the comments. I'll also put it in the show notes.
Thank you.
The Spotify playlist.
And so you are Team Supernatural. Okay, wait a minute.
Oh,
Hold
for
on.
sure.
I did want to ask you one of these questions. What's the thing that surprised you the most in season 2? What's something that you didn't see coming? And Kimberly, I want to ask you that too.
I don't think it ever occurred to me that the baby wouldn't live.
That's mine. I
Yeah.
didn't think the baby would die. I
Really?
don't know why.
Yeah,
I
it
just didn't
never
think the
occurred
baby
to
would
me.
die.
Yeah.
Okay.
But
All
it's like, of course, it makes a lot of sense.
Yeah. No, it totally does.
Yeah,
Yep.
that's totally mine. Yeah, that really shocked me. Katie,
That
what's
was good.
yours?
I don't know. I think I had a lot. I think I was wrong about the journals, which I was pretty dead sure that I was right, because I did not think that Jeff would react that way to
Mm-hmm.
knowing all that stuff. I did not think that Nat would join the cult,
Yeah.
would start wearing purple. I did not think that would
Well,
ever
we still
happen.
don't know if she was really in it or just a.
Yeah, but I was surprised. Like, I don't know. That was weird. I was really surprised that we didn't get more. I thought
Then
we were
more
going to
didn't
get
happen.
a little bit more than just season again, a little bit more in the earlier part. I don't know why. And the thing is, again, we had big actions. I just feel like I don't even know if I feel like I got to know anybody a little bit better. Does that, for all the character development, I feel like I don't know why. I don't know why I feel like that. I'm going to do an entire rewatch of season 2 and
Yeah, me
binge it
too.
and see how I feel. Yeah. Because who did Sarah recommend that? Like, I feel like that's right. I feel like just see how it flows like that. And see what's up. But I'm really excited to see if this mysterious episode is about Cabin Daddy.
Do we have a timeline on the
They said the thing that I read was a little closer to season 3.
Okay,
So
well, that
probably
means
will be
nothing.
released like
That's
a month
helpful.
before.
I hope they
season
do
3.
a straight up Christmas episode. Let's go.
I
That would
wanted
be
a
great.
Downton
Seriously,
Abbey
I'll take
Christmas
it.
episode.
Christmas.
I mean,
Christmas at the
there's
cabin.
The Office has done it. Like it's
Yeah.
the British Office.
Yeah.
It's a
100.
normal thingy. So
Yeah.
yeah,
And Downton
let's
Abbey.
go.
That's right.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Mhm.
yeah.
Just
Doctor
bring it
Who
on.
does
Let's
it
do the
a lot,
Christmas.
lot.
Who does it?
Doctor Who has done like multiple Christmas special episodes. It's
I
also
love
a
that.
tradition.
Let's start a petition.
Fine.
Christmas at the cabin.
That'd be great. Thank you
At
so
the
much, Jake.
cinders. Thank you guys.
Jake.
Thank you,
Appreciate
Jake.
It's
you.
great to be
Everyone, check
on.
out A Day with the Bake, which is not on right now, but that's our other podcast with Jake.
Pretty
About
soon,
Great
pretty
British Bake
soon.
Off. Bye.
GBBO.
Bye.
Bye, Jake. Katie, you have any last thoughts?
I don't. Thank
This
you
was
so
so
much,
fun.
everyone. We loved this.
This was
Yeah.
amazing. And all of you in the comments are just so smart. And
Yeah, everyone's so smart.
Yeah.
We got some good theories out of this. I love it. It's
Yeah.
great.
I don't know if
I
any
wish-
of them are true, but the theorizing is it's the journey, not the destination.
It's the fun things, and a lot of people had stuff I'd never even thought about. That was
Mhm.
great. I love it.
No,
I'm gonna go read all these comments.
when you said the
because I'm very
the
curious.
plane that Natalie's on is the one they're rescued on, I was like,
Did you not get it either? I did
don't
not. It
think I
didn't
got
even
that.
occur to me because I was like, why do
Mm-mm.
they ever on this weird plane? It's the rescue plane, which
Mm.
I also feel like is going to be some sort of. I think we're getting that third timeline next season.
I really hope so. And they
Well,
had
why
it at
would
the
they show us
beginning of
that?
season 1, just that one little bit at the beginning of at the beginning of season 2,
Just
the
that
first
little
episode.
tease. And
Yeah.
then at the very last episode,
Yeah.
we're gonna
It
get
has
it
to
next.
be.
Yeah, it definitely is. Thank you, Kimberly, for doing this with me. This was really fun. Date with
Thank you to all
Yellowjackets.
of you. We could not have done this without you. Share, and we hope you enjoyed it. Thank you to Erica and Lisa for super stickers. That is so nice of you.
Thank you so much. And watch this space. You can subscribe to our channel, and we are going to be starting our next show.
Hit the notification bell. I think that's what you
Yeah.
have to do. We're still learning about YouTube.
We are.
Hit
We're
the
doing great.
notification bell. Thank you, Carla.
Thank you, Carla. Thank you so much.
So nice. Yeah, we're definitely going to do another show. We had so much fun. So
Yeah, we did. So also any suggestions are welcome. We're looking at a few different ones right now.
Yeah. Thank you.
We'll
Thank
see.
you to
Bye.
all of our
Thank
guests.
you.
Our guests were amazing.
Yes,
Thank
they
you.
were.
Thank you,
Info below.
everybody. Bye.